Don't forget, I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her. Ladies, gentlemen, variations thereupon. This is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to this romantic episode of Modern Escapism with just a pinch of comedy and an ugly lead actor unconvincingly wooing the best looking woman on the planet. My name is Oodles and joining me today, I'll have what she's having, it's Candy.
Hey, hello.
You had me at up, it's Stig.
Angela Bassett did the thing.
And that's a podcast.
I've been waiting all week to use that.
I wish I knew how to quit you, it's Gadget.
Oh, bless you.
And finally, Mr. Spaghetti Arms himself. He carried a watermelon, he's back, it's Biggie.
Hello.
Dirty Dancing, come on.
Never seen it.
Wow. Revelations already. Before we get into the show, expect a myriad of reviews in the Nexus, the segment in which we recount the last week of media consumption, then our main topic in which we will be reviewing the worst rated romantic comedies in the world. But now, let's get back to our previously scheduled news broadcast. It's time for Biggie's breaking news, and he's back. Oh.
You may already know, but he doesn't. Because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
That's right. And this week's news is sponsored by Prime. Just when you're ready for something to quench that thirst, Prime. Available at all Looted and Right-In stores.
Surprisingly not at Amazon.
It's not, we're not sponsored. Bloody disgusting. Has learned this morning that Blumhouse, the multimedia company, has launched a new subsidiary to produce and publish video games. The company has appointed Zach Wood as president and Don Setchler as CFO of the new venture. Blumhouse Games will partner with independent developers to bring their creative vision to life via original horror-themed games for console, PC and mobile audiences. In the spirit of its film business, Blumhouse Games will target indie budget games below $10 million to enable innovation and pushing creative boundaries.
Oh, great.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, more good quality horror games. Yeah, please.
Never going to stop moaning about that. I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool. Next.
As always, Microsoft has now announced it has finalised a 10-year agreement to bring Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms on in the same day as Xbox with
getting emotional
full feature
again.
And content parity.
I mean, this is the only reason he hasn't got a Switch yet.
The move is, of course, reliant on Microsoft's precarious-looking $68.7 billion deal to bring Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard going through. And it also is not the first time of such agreement. Xbox Phil Spencer first mentioned a 10-year commitment with Nintendo for Call of Duty back in December. Microsoft has also tried to offer the same decade-long deal to PlayStation in a bid to calm its concerns over Xbox and in Activision, which of course is still ongoing, and we will find out later in April the final decision.
This just needs its own. This just needs its own section. This whole ongoing palaver.
I know.
It needs its own section of the show.
In the last week, Biggie, have you lost the ability to read?
Yes.
I don't think you ever had it. You don't remember English is his second language.
True.
Microsoft has also announced a deal with NVIDIA to put all Xbox PC games on cloud service GeForce Now. This includes Call of Duty, if Microsoft's attempt to buy Activision Blizzard is successful.
I can't wait for that.
Well, that's to get around the fact that xCloud is the biggest game streaming service out there.
Do people use game streaming?
Yeah, lots of people do. Stig does it to his Steam Deck all the time. I've done it a few times.
Yeah, I've played Xbox on my Steam Deck.
Sounds weird.
When a game hits Game Pass and I want to play it, I tend to start streaming it as it's downloading.
Yeah.
And it works really well.
Or if you just want to try it before you download it as well.
Yeah, saves me having to wait 10 hours to download the fucker sometimes.
I feel like I'd ruin internet on my street if I started streaming a game.
Well, yeah, that's because the internet on your street's held together with string and sticky tape.
There's loads of like guinea pigs under everyone's house on wheels
Yeah.
running the internet.
But yeah,
I'll be putting traps down.
The Nintendo thing and the Nvidia thing, it's all Microsoft making the moves so that Sony can't say, oh, they're going to have a monopoly over everything. They say, no, we're going to put things on Nintendo, and more PC players can access it in more ways without going to an Xbox website. You know, so it's all kind of hobbling Sony's argument.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for this to be fucking over.
Well, you see, what'll happen is we'll get the decision in April, then the other side will appeal, and then it'll go on for another year. And every week, Biggie will bring the news.
Yes. To be consistent and informing the people.
They don't care either.
All Biggie cares about is whether he's going to have to buy a updated Xbox or not. That's all he cares about.
That's all he cares
Does
about.
he finally move away from Sony?
Never.
Yeah.
Sony for life. Rap.
Apart from Microsoft will soon have access to both Battlefield and COD. Then what?
Yeah.
Then what? Then what?
The remake of Killzone. It will never die. Next.
I say
Tango
that.
Game. Oh, it's all right for Candy to do, is it?
Yeah, you're losing the authority here, Roodles.
Yeah, did she get the job in the end? No. No, she didn't. Next.
Ready to step in.
Tango Gameworks founder Shinji Mikami will leave the studio in the coming months. Bethesda Softworks Senior Vice President Todd Vaughn announced in a company-wide email verified by True Achievements. Not sure why they're that popular. I'm writing today to let you know that studio head Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Gameworks in the coming months, Vaughn has said in the email. Mikami-san has been a creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers at Tango for 12 years through his work on the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and of course the recently released Hi-Fi Rush. Mikami, who's best known as the creator of the Resident Evil series during his 16 years at Capcom, founded Tango Gameworks in March 2010, and it will be acquired by Bethesda Softworks' parent company, ZeniMax Media, in October that year.
Oh, senpai. Mwah. I hope for whatever reason he's left is for good reasons. Maybe he's retiring, but
I think he's earned his retirement. He's created.
Yeah, what a guy. A god.
He's created one of the biggest biggest media franchises in the world.
It's not just a gaming franchise, is it? It's media.
No. Which I'm sure he gets a little bit of a cut of it elsewhere because it's always based on the series created by Shinji Mikami.
It is.
And then, he had a good stab at the Evil Within. That was great. Set up his own studio. That was brilliant. Ghostwire Tokyo sold well, and Hi-Fi Rush has gotten all the accolades. So I think if he's retiring, great time to step down on a high.
Oh,
he's not that old though.
He's in his late 50s, I think.
Yeah,
but he's not doing that Hideo Kojima thing.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like for
he's not shooting for the stars like he is.
For a Japanese executive producer, they're not known for retiring.
They don't retire, do they?
No.
They don't retire. They die on the job.
Yeah,
he might be.
Maybe it's all the pressure.
Or maybe he's going to set up another little indie studio. Because that was what Tango was supposed to be.
To Capcom, baby.
Didn't he leave Capcom on bad terms? I don't think he's going back there.
Oh, come on.
All bridges can be mended.
Yes, let me wish. Oh, Resident Evil 9. Shinji Mikami. Oh, my God. Popping off, mate. I will pop off. Return to the Spencer Mansion. Oh, my God. I'd be dead.
I'm just going to come back and oversee the remakes of 5 and 6, but make them good. Take out all the
shit. You're about to say, how could they return? You're about to say, how could they return when it's blown up? They rebuilt it. For this game.
That was
9.
Mansion 1. Mansion 2 was never blown up. Mansion 2 was never blown up.
Yeah.
So, Site B on a different island.
Yes.
But in the Resident Evil universe, that actually makes sense.
They have two mansions.
They do that shit.
Well, I mean, they had the training ground in Resident Evil 0, which was a similar looking mansion about a half a mile down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, senpai. Come back to us. Next.
Sons of the Forest has a trailer out showing some of the multiplayer gameplay. According to developer End Night Games, it's recently revealed that although the game is still in early access, it still managed to sell over 2 million copies in the first 24 hours.
Stig bought it 2 million times.
On it straight away, literally, as it unlocked, there, just click and refresh because it crashed Steam.
I saw that actually.
It actually crashed Steam. We're all sat there going, has anyone got a copy yet? Yep. The biggest problem is, they've kind of fucked it a little bit for online multiplayer because they haven't released I don't know all the technical jargon about it, but they haven't released the files that's required to set up a server. So we can't actually set a server up yet. You can only play it by hosting it locally on the PC, which comes with its issues of you can only do local saves, and it has to be so. Like, we started playing it on my PC for stupid reasons. We used the PC with the least power.
I think the reason's being, guys, we're using my PC. I am Stig.
No, it wasn't. We were just. It's because I'd started playing it, and then they joined in, jumped on. But it was
right.
Also,
it's early access. You can't argue with it.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, that makes sense to do it via Stig's PC because the game gets throttled to whoever's got the lowest stats anyway. That's how multiplayer games work, so that everyone has the same experience.
Oh. Well, it's
all right.
I do get your early access argument, but they could have at least had the ability for people to set servers up. Ready.
I'm sure that'll come hopefully in the coming weeks. I think.
I know, but you want it on launch. We can't play our game together for another 2 weeks now.
Early access. Give them a break.
They had a whole fucking game for the last few years that did the same thing. They know how to do it.
Making games is easy, guys.
Oh, it's not that. It's literally the server info. That's it. It's not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I know what you mean.
It's nothing to do with bugs or writing code. It's just something that they just have decided they haven't given.
I'm sure there'll be a good reason for one way or another.
Yeah, they forgot.
Next.
Sony had a state of play this week, and it kicks off with some PSVR 2 games. I'll just mention the games very quickly. Show some footage of the Foglands, Green Hell VR, Synapse, Journey to Foundation, and something else called Before Your Eyes. I don't know if anyone's bothered about the PSVR 2 because
not really. I'm
mortgages.
I'm really amused by Journey to Foundation because it's based on Isaac Asimov's Foundation universe. But they've turned it into a kind of a VR stealth shooter, and I'm not sure why. I remember when
you messaged me about this because I didn't get to watch it, and I was like, "Is this Asimov's Foundation?" And Gadget were like, "Yes." There's guns in it. I went, "What?" Don't recall much violence in those books.
No, more political and existential. Yeah, I'm not sure how they could. I mean. Really happy to have the idea of having a classic sci-fi master have a game based on his work. Brilliant.
Wait, well, they'll do the iRobot game. That'll be next.
With or without Will Smith.
Probably without.
Yeah, it seemed like a weird set of choices because you could do a really interesting narrative game in the Foundation universe.
Yes.
I don't know why you would want to have a shooty bang bang game in it.
Because they got the license for cheap. That's why. I
think they just create a sci-fi game and then, we've got a license for it for marketing purposes. Let's make a Foundation.
It's probably not far off getting into public domain, that thing, anyway. Won't be far off.
Yeah, true.
It's like when people get the licensing for games to make them into films, isn't it? And they just make this isn't a horror game, but we're making it into a horror film. Or yeah. This is this kind of film, but we've made it into an action film. But there's no action in that game.
Looking at you, Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
Don't look at him. Don't look at him. That's what he wants.
No, he'll challenge you to a boxing match.
I know, apparently he'll kick the shit out of anyone who says anything.
That's what he wants.
Angry little German man.
Moving on from PSVR 2. There's a launch trailer for Destiny 2 expansion Lightfall, which comes out next week. Bungie.
It will be out 2 days ago as of this episode. I know it's so only on Destiny 2, but they didn't need to put a fucking trailer to their state of play for it.
And that probably won't crash Steam because no one's downloading it.
Well, as I'm trying to say, Bungie is currently investigating an issue where the early preload of Destiny 2's up-and-coming expansion is locking players out of the game entirely. Right now, it seems as though the issue is chiefly affecting those on PS5, and players that don't delete and reinstall the game may find themselves locked out completely until launch day. Nice.
Fucking
If you're getting the Dodo error, then contact Bungie immediately.
as in dead as that.
Doesn't say Dodo. I'm just put that in.
Oh, okay.
Please contact Biggie for all first-person shooter queries.
They'll tell you to play the Division.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Two, mainly two. Next,
Next up
any
was
more?
the
Any more
lovely
from the
looking
state of play?
Next up was the lovely looking Tachia, which launches the PlayStation Plus catalogue as a day one release.
That did look good last time we saw it, didn't it, Gadget?
Yeah.
We watched it on that reveal. It looked like Moana.
Yeah, I'll give it a shout. Especially with it being on PS Plus.
Yeah. Use those trials, baby.
Why aye?
Sony revealed a few more games coming to PlayStation Plus in March. The list includes Battlefield 2042. That hasn't died a
Banger.
death.
Certified banger.
Minecraft
Game of the
Dungeons,
year.
Code Vein, and I think Ghostwire Tokyo has actually been added, which I think would be cool.
That's
I'll
been
check
added
that
to
out
the game catalogue thing.
Yeah.
It's been added to that.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not,
I am very looking forward to jumping into Ghostwire Tokyo.
I think you'll enjoy it, Oodles.
Yes, I also do.
Lots of yokai to deal
also, Code Vein is a nice anime Dark Souls.
with. I couldn't get on with it. I couldn't get on with the
with
woo-woo-ness of
waifus in it.
I
And
try-
Minecraft Dungeons is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, that looks good. I might give that a try.
It's Diablo. It's basically Diablo.
I'm not doing
It's
Battlefield 2042. There's not.
There'll be 90 gigs anyway. Who wants to download 90 gigs worth of tripe?
I just looked up Code Vein because I didn't know what it was. Literally the second picture on
Tits?
yeah. Big anime tits.
It's
I'm in.
Yeah.
Fuck's
I'm in.
the thing
It's
is,
good.
it's
It's
got
good
a really good combat system, but I just couldn't get past the ooh-woo-ness of it. It was just fucking
it's pure.
bad.
It's pure. It's pure. And it's got the thing that Stig mentioned before, like, oh, she's a child, but she's actually 10,000 years old, so it's fine. It's got that in it. It's got that in it. So yeah, be warned. It's got an easy mode though. If people are scared of Souls likes, it's got an easy mode. So yeah, try. Not going to cost you out, is it?
Next up from the guys Enhance, the maker of the wonderful Res and Tetris Effect. Humanity is due out in May 23 on
There's a
PS5,
demo of that, isn't
PS4, PSVR, and PSVR 2. And a lot of people saying it's really good.
Yeah, everyone's
so.
saying it's zen as fuck.
That's the human herding one, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks proper like mellow, and I'm into it.
I don't know. Like when they showed some of the later levels in the trailer, it looks stressful as fuck.
Oh yeah, I'll stop playing when it gets stressful. But the mellow bits, like, yeah, man, I'm into this.
And it's
kind of
bits
getting
of
blazed up, playing some of
Lemmings.
that. Lemons, yeah. I used to love lemons. Oh, it was so good, but stressful eventually.
Now humans are the lemmings. See what they did.
Haha, full circle.
I got deep.
You wanted it. They heard you. Teen Dinosaur narrative game. Goodbye Volcano High.
All
Comes
over
out on
this.
PS5,
All over this.
PS4.
What's that?
I don't know. I
Oh.
don't care.
By Volcano High. I will play this game.
What's it about? Dinosaurs.
I don't know. It's
It's
just
a teen drama with,
Teen drama
with
narrative
cartoon
game.
dinosaurs.
Oh my god, look at them. They're furries. They're
They
furry
are.
dinosaurs.
Have they
And
got
I'm back in.
tits? Have they got tits?
nope.
Nope.
They're all
Oh.
emos.
Oh no,
They're
emo
all-
dinosaurs.
they're all in a
Have they got hair?
band.
Have they actually got hair?
I can't tell if I'm looking at fan art or the actual art. It
No,
was dreadful.
you're looking at the actual art. It's not a good
Oh
art
my
style.
God.
It's very pastel-y.
Stig's
and
right
it's-
up for this. Stig is
Oh.
up for this. Like teenage angst, still loves it.
Oh, Oodles.
Loves it.
They're teenagers in a band.
In a band. You get to play the band. You get to play like
But they've got
QT bands.
they've got one last summer before they all move out of town.
Yeah. Give me that.
Have they got-
Give me that shit.
If the dinosaurs, have they actually got hands to play instruments?
Yes. Oh, they're anthropomorphized.
And so they'll have hair like humans.
Yeah, yeah. That's
The
why
poor T-Rex can't reach his guitar.
That's why Candy
Let
said
me
they look
guess.
like furries.
Oh, I've
Oh,
just
so they've
got
got-
onto rule 34 of the internet as well.
No,
I've gone
get away,
too far.
get away,
I've gone
Candy,
too
back
far.
out.
Moving on.
Oh, they've got clothes on.
Not what
It's
Candy
like
just
it's
Next
like
up.
the dinosaurs. Like a comet never hit the Earth, and the dinosaurs evolved into humanoids.
Oh, like
Into a
King
John
Cooper
Hughes
in the
film.
Super Mario Brothers film.
all over
For
this.
sake.
All over it.
I bet you are. Any more, Biggie?
Yeah, very quickly, an announcement trailer for Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connection.
Next.
Not bothered. Lorraine Studios offered up another look at the promising Baldur's Gate 3, which now has a release date of the 31st of August 23, and it's coming out on the PS5 as well as
I was about to say, on a PlayStation thing.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah.
I think it comes out earlier on PC. I think it's at the end of July on PC. I could be wrong. And then PS5, but yeah, it's coming out on PS5.
Brilliant. I really like Larry.
And it's got that
fantastic.
It looks like it's got for the PS5 trailer. It's got the same interface as Divinity: Original Sin 2 on console.
Yes, mate. Yeah,
Nice.
love Divinity.
And
love it.
That'll work.
It showed you doing that that split screen thing from Divinity where you can go off in one
you
direction
just
and the
move
other
off.
person can bugger off the other side of the map.
Love it. Bang into this. Bring me this now, please.
See, you do like D&D.
No, I don't. Shut up.
Where do you think Baldur's Gate comes from?
Games.
It's Forgotten Realms. It's a D&D place.
It's Tolkien, mate. That's what
Lies.
I am not a nerd.
More of that later. Moving on. Wayfinder is an online multiplayer adventure. The
shite.
beta is a PlayStation
Next.
exclusive.
It looks shite.
Capcom have revealed the looks of Zangief, newcomer Lily, and Cammy is back. Street Fighter 6.
Back, baby.
Have you-
Zangief.
If you, I don't know if you spotted it, but Cammy's got a finishing move which is taken straight out of the Street Fighter movie, where she
I ain't
flips
seen
in
the
the
trailer.
air, twists the guy's neck, snaps it by
With
jumping
her
behind
legs.
him and bending him over. It looks awesome.
Have you seen how angry some bits of the internet are that she's wearing pants in this? Because she's not got the green leotard thong thing. Can't
That'd
see
be
her
a
arse.
DLC unlock thing, won't it?
Oh, you can't see her ass, but can you still see Zangief's ass, please?
Well, of
That's
course. He's
Yes, good.
sexiest creature ever committed to paper.
He is the ultimate bear. He's my boy. He's
And you-
my boy.
A new trailer is out for the Resident Evil 4 remake, which comes out next month. Anyone interested?
That bit.
Maybe.
Just a little bit. I haven't watched any trailer since the announcement, so I'm
I
like,
haven't either.
I've seen screenshots where they've kind of changed the story around, which I'm kind of interested in because I like it when they surprise me with these remakes, like they did with 2. They changed 2 around a lot, and it's exciting to someone that's rinsed the fuck out of the older versions.
Well,
So,
5
yeah,
and
bang
6 are
into
the
it.
least known to me as well, so I know barely anything about this.
You don't need to play 5 and 6 anyway, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Unless
But
you want to do a racist genocide.
Yeah, unless you do.
Not my cup of tea.
Oh, I can't.
Finally-
wait. It's not long. It's not long.
Finally, we got to look at Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Finally.
And the internet is going to get mad because it looks like it's live service hell. And
Yep.
you have to be online for a single player game. And yeah, internet has kicked off.
This is the trailer I watched because I got a separate trailer after people were saying, "You're not going to believe what this looks like." I watched that trailer. Mate. I've never been so disappointed with a fucking
What does
game
it
in
look
my
like,
life.
Oodles?
It looks like Crackdown, fucking. It looks like Agents of Mayhem. It just looks shite.
Looks like Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, it just looks crap.
It's got a store and battle pass like Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, God. And there's already on TikTok people simping over King Shark in a Superman costume. Like, oh, he's a real daddy. I'm like, he's a shark. He's a shark. Stop it. Stop trying to fuck animals.
I'm gonna go the opposite way here. In that I didn't think the gameplay was that bad. It looked very reminiscent of when we got the trailer for
Agents of Mayhem.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and you all ripped on that, and then look how that turned out. It was the stuff that came after that I have the issue with, that makes me just kind of nope out the game because I can't be arsed with live service shit. Fucking in the bin.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think had it not been for the live service stuff, I would have given it a shot.
Yeah, but I watched that trailer and I didn't see anyone's feet touch the ground in the whole trailer.
That did weird me out slightly because, like, I mean, the Arkham, like, especially Arkham City and Arkham Knight, you could get a lot of airtime, but you still had to like stand on the ground to fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's weird, man. Oh no, it's gonna be shit.
Well, to be fair though, like I, if they'd have done a Batman game with the Suicide Squad characters, everyone's going, This is a Batman game. Why are we not playing as Batman? Like, it doesn't make sense to do a Batman game, and that's that. Like,
Yep.
Why would
No, I get
you
the
do?
point.
Why would you do a game in that style with Suicide Squad characters?
I think
it doesn't
It's
work.
it's their story to tell, innit? It's their game to tell. So
yeah, but
I'd love to be proven wrong, and people say this is fucking incredible.
I think the bit where I have the exception is that Rocksteady themselves came out and said that this game is an extension of the Arkham games. It's like a spin-off sequel to them. So
It's set a few weeks after the Arkham City or something. They said, didn't they? Arkham Knight.
yeah, but the difference is it's based in Metropolis, not Gotham. But because they said that, I kind of expected something more grounded and less superhero-y, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, it's still big of a shit, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the gameplay. I just don't like all the other stuff around it. Like, I don't want to be messing on doing fire teams and loot a shooter and crates and all that shit.
I think also I've got a low bar for it after Gotham Knights.
Mm.
I never even played that. I never even went near it.
I see enough.
State of shite. Next.
We had the DICE Awards this week. God of War Ragnarok secured 7 awards, but Elden Ring took home the coveted Game of the Year prize.
Yep.
God of War beat out the competition in, here we go, outstanding achievement in animation, art director, character, original music composition, audio design, adventure game of the year, and achievement in story. Elden Ring, however, won outstanding achievement in story, technical achievement in game design, game direction, and game of the year.
I don't get that. Like,
Elden Ring won story.
it's there if you go looking for it, but
It's barely got one.
yeah.
Did anyone
Weird.
storm the stage though on this one?
I don't even know what. You have to refresh my memory. What is the DICE Awards? I thought DICE were EA.
No. It's a gaming industry awards.
Oh right. Okay.
DICE
fair
must
enough.
sponsor it, do they? Or
I
something?
think so. Yeah.
To have their name there.
Right.
I think it is, but it is in Sweden. So yeah, I think it is.
Otherwise, Battlefield 2042 would have won all of the awards.
And you would have been there to accept it for them.
The big one from that I think moreover than kind of Elden Ring and Ragnarok was that Dwarf Fortress won Strategy Simulation Game of the Year, and that's just such a fucking nice story for those guys because there's two guys made that game. They've been running
Very
it.
good things from it.
Yeah, they've been running it basically for free for about 20 years. Like
Yeah.
you supported them by donations. And I think one of them got sick last year and like his medical bills were ridiculous because, America. So they put the game out on Steam for the first time and they became millionaires overnight.
Good.
Like all those people who've been playing that game for 20 odd years for free
Bought
just
it.
went, yeah, we'll buy it.
Aw.
I've heard
And-
really good things from it. Like it's a genuinely mint game.
It's one of the most incredible spreadsheets ever made. But it's also one of those games that you have to put so much time in to get the most out of.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
simulation
it's a life investment, isn't it?
Yeah, like the simulation is super deep, but you need to commit to it to get to play it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just really happy for them. Like they're getting all these
Me
accolades
too.
for something that they've had out for 20 odd years, and they just seem like such lovely lads.
But just imagine like the dark times for those guys where they're like, it'll pop off eventually. Just one, we're just going to persevere with this. This is our passion. This is his dream. And then that happened.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It'll be a film.
Yeah,
It'll
well,
be
it's
a
especially as well given like games like RimWorld like took the Dwarf Fortress concept and made a
Yeah.
commercial product out of it when they never made a commercial product out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good for them.
EA wants to know if Dead Space fans would be interested in a Dead Space 2 or 3 remake.
Yes.
I think that's a yes.
One of those things, yes.
3 they need to completely reconceive from the ground up, but yes.
Yeah.
Very quickly,
Did they want
Rovio-
us to respond to that? Sorry. Did they want us to respond to that? And well, they were waiting for modern escapism to say yes.
It says
Is that what it is?
they've contacted players, so I guess they must have some account information.
I'm a bit of a player.
Sending that out to those. So,
Definitely a gamer.
You're not a gamer, though, are you?
No, he is.
No.
No, he is.
No, I'm not. But yes,
Very
we would like
quickly,
that.
Rovio Classics Angry Birds is being pulled from the game store. For whichever one that you use.
This one I found
It's killed
funny.
me.
Well, this one I found funny because the reason that they gave for it was that Rovio Classics Angry Birds, which is basically just a repackaged version of the original Angry Birds game from all those years ago,
Better graphics.
with slightly better graphics, yeah, but it's functionally the
Yeah,
old
the levels
game.
are the same.
that people are playing that too much and aren't playing their new live service hell version of Angry Birds, so they're getting rid of the old version of it so players play the new one.
Like, unequivocally, I love Angry Birds, the original one. It's the only one I've ever played. I've played Bad Piggies, that's a separate type of game, that's really good. But Angry Birds, since I had an iPhone 4, was probably one of the most played mobile games I've ever played, because I think I'm the only person here that plays mobile games.
I played it a lot back in the day. Like that.
I think Angry Birds is pure amazing. Cut the rope. What are you going to say?
Yeah, that and Cut the Rope are the two games I used to play on my iPhone 3GS.
Yes, so good.
Yeah,
but Angry Birds, I completed Angry Birds. You know what I mean? Not many people have done that.
I never got that far.
I got as far as space, and that was it.
Angry Birds Space. Oh, the Star Wars one. Remember that?
I think it was the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it, but I recently played the new one they brought out last year, and it's fucking hell. You have to, literally, I'm not even joking, look at this. You have to literally purchase extra, elasticity on your thing. You have to pay for it. Yeah, it's so fucking bad. Jesus. Oh, it's terrible. And they brought out a sexy bird. Do you know what I mean? It's sexy.
Nah.
I'm back in.
It's so bad. Oh, God, and I was gutted because I thought, fuck, I ain't got it on this phone and I can't download it now. I'm sad. Oh, I've got it on the iPad, though. Forever. Love that game.
Moving on, PlayStation VR 2 is currently causing a few issues for some early adopters. There's a lengthy thread on Reddit doing complaints about the gadgets, not this gadget, Right Sense.
Oh, yeah, he has got a Reddit thread complaints about him anyway. A separate one.
There's a guide to how to fix it, blah, blah, blah.
What's wrong with it? Too expensive?
The buttons on one of the Sense controller keep desyncing so they don't respond. It's probably a stupid software issue, but
it'll be the simple update, won't it? That's all it'll be. But they'll be going, I'm furious, I've spent 9 million quid for this and it doesn't work. Furious. Early adopter syndrome. It's always going to be fucked when you get it straight away.
Yeah,
wait.
Never get tech day one.
No, wait. Idiots.
Confirmation around E3. Nintendo's confirmed it will not be attending.
Rest in peace, E3.
Dead as fuck.
Yep. Gone.
Yep.
Gone.
They'll keep E3 going so we can watch the Ubisoft cringe show.
Yeah. Can't miss that.
Nah. I'm not watching that.
And the PC gaming show, which is just somehow managed to be even more cringe. It's a shame.
I will actively watch the Devolver Digital thing, and that's it. That is it. That's all I'll do.
They always put on a good show.
Yeah, and it's
I think Candy's stuck in the Matrix.
I thought that. Yeah, it's
like to be moved.
You lifted the cat over, and then like the next thing was you lifted it over again. It's like, oh, he's back.
Why don't you shut the door?
Here's the reason I don't, because if I shut the door, he's going to be 10 times worse. He's going to be like knocking it down.
Let him sit in your lap.
He won't sit in my lap. He wants to cause as much. He's here to cause.
Has your cat? This is obviously as a professional and qualified veterinarian. Has your cat got testicles?
No.
That might be the issue. I don't want to see.
That
might be the issue. He's pissed off of what you've done to him.
Yeah, could be. I don't blame him. I'm sorry. And sorry for his interruption.
Moving on to the world of film and TV briefly. David Fincher pretty much has confirmed Mindhunter Season 3 will never happen.
Fuck you, Netflix.
It's a very expensive show, and in the eyes of Netflix, we didn't attract enough of an audience to justify such an investment. Really?
Fuck you, Netflix.
I saw the first episode.
When you pump money into fucking shite that you pump money into, and you can't actually finish off a quality, very good written TV show.
How are they going to afford a third season of Mindhunter when they need to do 10 different seasons of Selling Sunset?
Yeah. Red Notice 2 and 3.
Or Hubie Halloween.
Stranger Things.
Actually, there is Murder Mystery 2, isn't there? That's coming out.
I think Hubie Halloween 2 as well. I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
The Falls. Next up, there's a nice picture of the Back to the Future stars. This is a little reunion with Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, and Tom Wilson. One of the rare reunions almost 40 years after the first movie was released. It's a great
all of
photo
them.
if you haven't seen it. Yeah.
I love all of them. They're incredible people. Oh, God. Back to the Future's so good. I watched that this weekend. Fuck! That first film's incredible. Oh. Next.
We've got some news about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit as some plans for some more films based on Tolkien series is coming.
Makes sense.
I'm looking forward to this.
Are you? Because the first one that's been shopped around is the musical Bombadil with James fucking Corden.
What?
That was my weird Web of the Week news story, but
Breaking? Hang on, what? Say that again. What's happening?
yeah, say it again, Gadget.
So, Bombadil, a musical set in Middle Earth, is in the works with Warner Brothers, with James Corden in talks to star as Tom Bombadil.
Somehow, every word you said in that sentence made it worse. Like it was
Yeah, it
bad
did.
on bad on bad on bad.
Yeah.
So, essentially, because Tom Bombadil is the personification of Tolkien in that universe,
Yeah.
James Corden is going to be Tolkien, basically. He hasn't earned that. He hasn't earned it. And a musical, I get it, he sung in the books quite too much, actually. That's why they kicked him out of the films. But
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. This has got to be a
Tragic,
crime.
isn't it?
Can't we send him to The Hague or something like that on trial for something like this? This is not something that we have.
Well, he's in the hell pits from us, isn't he? We've put him in the hell pits.
Twice.
There must be something like a petition we could sign. Because, like, I remember originally, do you know, what's his name now? The guy that was in the Lockdown series with David Tennant, the Welsh guy.
Oh, Michael
What's he
Sheen.
called? Yeah, he was supposed to be Bombadil in a little thing. And he'd have been brilliant.
Yeah, he'd have been fantastic.
Because he's great. Do you know what I mean?
He's got the wild beard for it as well.
Yeah. And now they've got rid of him and put James Corden in.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's lots of stories to be told. Just try not to go too CGI heavy.
Just do it well.
Like,
Just do it well.
put orcs and Orokai, whatever the fuck, whatever monsters you've got. Do a bit of practical effect because it just looks so much better.
I mean,
One of the things that
Put
ruined the
masks on
Hobbit.
people.
to,
Oh, God, yeah.
take a leaf out of the Rings of Powers playbook. That looked great. It was well done, well put together.
Yep. Fantastic show.
No female-led leads, though, please. You know, we don't like that.
Oh, God,
No.
no.
we don't.
Not around here.
No black elves either.
Yeah, none of that. None of that.
How dare they? You know
women,
James
no
Corden?
women.
Christ, I can't believe this. This has upset me.
More Lord of the Rings
Genuinely
things. He
upset
does
me.
like, ooh, great, with James Corden.
It's like I can see it now. I'm
It's
picturing
about
it
Tom
now.
Bombadil. No!
He's on his car with his wife, and he's doing carpool karaoke with his wife, like slapping arse with a whip, bum-ba-dum, down the meadows, down the fields. Fuck off! Fuck off! I hate this.
We officially live in the worst timeline.
We have. What have we done to deserve this? What have we done? Oh God! Pray for another lockdown now. So it can't happen.
Or he dies.
Whoa! Nah, don't wish that on anyone. Anyone? You said
You
it.
said you wanted to. You said to get a hitman on him.
I will. No, I will back it. I'm just saying. I'm whispering this
We
thing.
call it retired on here, and that way we can get
You
away with
said
it.
Sorry.
Somehow
you
retire
said it.
him sounds even worse.
Retire him.
Time to retire him.
Oh God! Imagine if like Agent 47 really existed and you could just pay. Do you know what I mean? Just get it done.
There will be.
I know you can. I know you. No. I mean, like on Hitman, they've got an app for it. Do you know what I mean? And it's all done on an app.
Yeah, but
He's only interested in
not like you can go on fucking Cameo and hire a hitman.
He's only interested if they're bald with a barcode as well. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, so we can get his Tesco Club card points.
yeah.
Scan the back of them.
Always.
Or a reduced to clear sticker.
Yeah. Whoops.
You see what's happened? We mentioned James Corden and all the fucking wheels fall off.
he is literally he is the fallen angel. He is fucking the devil. He is Lucifer incarnate. He is the worst human on the planet. It's terrible. Oh God. Next.
Moving on, just very quickly, I wanted to mention what Candy reported last week. Sad news of Trugoy the Dove. Plug 2, also known by his real name as Dave, passed away from De La Soul. Just want to quickly mention the guy was superb. Love their music. I had their album on vinyl. Their discography is awesome. Yeah, check out De La Soul. They're awesome.
We
It's
had
just
them on
literally
last night. We were talking about
just
last
got
night
released
at the mate's house.
on Spotify as well. They had some issues about sampling that they had to sort out, and I think they got it done just before he passed away. So I think it was one of their dreams to get their music out there, people to hear if they'd never heard of
They
them
were
before.
a great act because they crossed boundaries, didn't they? You didn't have to be into
They're
that
still
genre,
going as
but,
well.
Yeah. But they crossed
They released an album a couple of years ago, I think it was.
so good. It's such a shame. But you weren't here
But
last week.
speaking of which, sadly, we did lose John Motson this week from the world of football commentating.
Oh, devastated.
What a legend.
Absolutely devastated.
You grew up watching football anywhere from the 70s through to the 2000s. That's the voice of football. FA Cups, World Cups, Euros,
FIFA games.
FIFA, yeah, for a time. Just there's just moment. I was watching clips back, the moment where Beckham scored that last minute equaliser against Greece, Gerrard's goal in the FA Cup final. They did a tribute video on Football Focus. I just
Legends.
was in the hotel this weekend, just sat and watched that before we went out. Cause no, I'm just want to watch this before we go out. Yeah, he's great. Absolutely top class bloke, amazing voice. Just one of the good ones.
Encyclopedia of football he was.
The actual voice of football, weren't he? That's what he was.
Yeah. And we'll finish on Charlie Simpson has been crowned as the winner of this year's
I
Masked
thought you were
Singer
going to say
UK.
he's died then, because I know he likes him. Stig likes him. And
That's
Charlie
why I put it in the
also
news.
died.
Because I think he's great. I think too many people
I don't know.
look past the fact that
really
it was
know
just
who he
in
is.
Busted. But Fight Star, I really think Fight Star are great. I think I think his solo stuff is really good, and he's
Fight Star's the metal band, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the metal band he left Busted to go
I know
to.
them. Is that who it is?
Yeah. And then he did his solo
Oh.
stuff, which I've reviewed on the show. I think he's just got a lot better at that and a lot more mature as he's gone on. And he was on The Masked Singer, which I don't watch, but I was seeing TikToks
me and my kids do.
coming up, and I was like, I heard it, and I went, it's Charlie Simpson. And I just don't know how. Some of the guesses, I watched some of the guesses from some of the judges, and I'm like, you must be taking the piss. Some of the
I think they probably know already. I think it's all an act.
Such a fucking.
We watched the
strange
American
program.
one. We don't watch the English one. The American one's mental because it's like, oh my God, it's John Smith, the country and western superstar. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? It's supposed to be a celebrity.
Didn't the American one have Dick Van Dyke on it?
Oh my God.
Yes.
I just love the English one where they just one of them guessed Eminem. Charlie Simpson.
Why
And I
would
was like,
Eminem do this?
I said that to Kate. I was like,
Why would he go over to London?
Why would
for
a
4
guy
weeks?
who can sell out arenas and stadiums around the world?
Who's probably worth about $1 billion.
do the math
And dresses
and
a
also,
rhino.
Dressing up like
Like-
a thing of toothpaste or something.
Charlie Simpson is a
lunchbox.
much better singer than Eminem. As good as Eminem is at rapping, he's not a good singer. You've heard him sing on his albums. He's auto-tuned to fuck. He's rapping amazing. He's not and I'm like, Eminem, what are they mental? Anyway, I just put it in there because now people realise how good he is.
Yeah.
So
It's
And
nice that someone that you adore is going to be even
he'll get that
catapulted a little bit more.
recognition that some of the other
Yeah.
big pop acts get. I think now. So
It's a good feeling, man.
I'm also happy that he beat Ricky Wilson because I don't like Ricky Wilson.
Kaiser Chief guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a prick, him.
Dressed
Met
as a
him in
phoenix.
person. I can say that in person. I've met him in person. I can say that on this podcast. He were a right knob.
I've not
Just a
heard
right cocky knob.
good
Because he's from
things of him.
Doncaster, innit? Leeds and Doncaster
Something
don't
like
get on.
that. Yeah, he's just a prick. He's like, do you know what? He did that, you know who I am thing.
Yeah.
Ah, prick. Prick.
He can't sing live.
Can he not? Can he not sing then? No?
He's terrible live.
It's like
If you ever watch
when he's
a
in
live
Kaiser
video.
Chiefs, I know he's a singer, but he's more of like a shout, don't they? Like a shouty indie band, not a singy band. Fuck him. Well done, Charlie. Well,
My
That's
mate
it, mate.
Charlie.
is that it? That it? Excellent. Now it's time.
Biggie's
for
News,
the
sponsored by
Nexus.
Prime.
Stop it. Yeah, Nexus time, and I want to know what Stig's been doing.
Can I do two things this week? I know we've actually done
You
quite a
can,
long...
because I need to refill this. I can still hear you, though.
We've done a long news section there, but I will be brief
Yeah.
on both of these.
I'm going to refill my pot, but I'm still listening.
So the first thing what I wanted to do is I wanted to mention this. I thought it was worth mentioning on the main show, not in our Nexus Plus. Was I played the demo of The Edge of Allegoria? Don't know if you managed to play it or not, Gadget.
No, I didn't have a chance. I have got it downloaded on my Steam Deck, but yeah, I do need to
Yeah,
give it a go.
so this is a like a top-down style RPG in like Pokemon and old Zelda styles, and it's done. The color scheme is done in like an old Game Boy style color scheme.
Oh, that's cool. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, and this is by it's a one-man band who's made this. He's goes by Average Joe on Twitter, and I apologize, I'm ruining this. I had all the information in front of me. Button Factory Games is his company that he set up to make this game, and he's been working on this game for the last several years, and he's finally this week managed to release a demo of it. I've had it on my wish list for ages, and he was on Punk's podcast recently to talk about it, so you could go check him out on that. He's really great on that show, and they talked about the game. But yeah, it's... You know me, I'm not massively into all these kind of games. Like, it's something that's a bit different.
Yeah.
It draws me in if it's a bit different. And what draws me in is the fact that it's like the writing and the language is used in it. It's not a kid's game at all. And it even says that in the title. It's like, this ain't no fucking kid's game. Because some of the writing in this is just incredible and insane and very adult, but very immature, and I really, really enjoy it for that. So you basically, in the demo, you just you do that typical thing when you're wandering around in forests and you get surprise attacks. What they call them? I forget what they're called because I'm not
Random battles.
Random battles, that's the one, because I don't play these games enough, so you'll have to bear with me. But I really, really enjoyed the few hours that I played on this demo, and I just really enjoyed the writing and the kind of stuff that comes out of people's mouths when you're talking to them. I've taken a few screenshots. I was playing this. I was playing it on the Steam Deck, so it works wonderful on the Steam Deck if you've got that. And you go to this house, and there's a guy outside, and he's like, I took on the job here. I was going to be a hunter, but then I realized that I couldn't actually bring myself to kill any animals. But now my wife thinks I'm a fanny, and she's going to leave me. And could you help me out and bring me some, animal parts as you're killing beasts and stuff? Then you go inside and you speak to the wife. She's just like, oh, I need a real man. You look like a real man. Maybe you can take me instead of my husband. And one of the side missions is after you kill one of the Goblin Kings, she comes back and she says, what did she say? I'm going to find what she says back to you. Just thinking about someone having the strength to do something like that makes me wet. If you go off and find me a nymph tit, then maybe we can do something together later. It's that kind of, it's really just kind of juvenile but fun. Yeah. And all the kind of creatures have fun descriptions about them and fun names and things. And I had to take a mushroom to finish off the Goblin King because he's about to kill me. And it says, take this mushroom, you will experience side effects after. And then randomly in the middle of the forest, it went, shit, that mushroom's kicking in. It says, you are now tripping balls. And your whole screen just goes fucking crazy. And you just can't see where you're going or what you're doing. And it's brilliant. And on the fight screen, Gadget, you'll like this one, on Noodles, where it says fight and it says something there. It just says, disrespect your surroundings.
Nice.
Disrespect your surroundings.
Yeah, and it's got little notes like that. And if you go to flee, it just goes, "Oh, fleeing like a cowardly cunt you are." Stuff just it's things like that. That's not exactly the wording, but it's kind of on that level. There is the use of every swear word in there and stuff. So it's really good. It's on Steam. The demo's on there. Really check it out. Check out his Twitter and I'm waiting for the game to come out. It's called The Edge of Allegoria. I don't know if my save is going to carry over. I hope it does, because it's just I just don't like having to go back and replay stuff. So yeah,
That is the wrong game for you then.
yeah. No, that's the thing. That there is grinding in this because I couldn't beat two of the bad guys that are in the demo. But I didn't really mind it.
Oh,
So that's what I mean. I like the look of it. I like the old school kind of look that he's got going on. I like the writing. It's got me invested in it, to go and find the beasties and do these like little side challenges. So it's just something different. Like I said, I don't play those games often. So if it's something that actually has piqued my interest, and also
you played like Pokemons before, don't you?
yeah, I like Pokemon.
Yeah.
And,
When you had time, when you weren't an adult.
Zelda, I played the Link's Awakening remaster, which I really enjoyed, which is the same kind of style of game.
2.5D barely. Kind of
Like the kind of
spritey shit.
stuff. Yeah, and I've kind of got to grasp with the battle system and the how you upgrade
They're usually
your
always
weapons
rock,
and stuff.
paper, scissors style, aren't they?
Well, this one is like you find weapons and then you have to use them to master them, and then when you've mastered them, you can use them within a fight. So you can't use that unless you equip that weapon. You can't use it to fight with, but if you master it, then you can use it. So I've got like 4 or 5 of the weapons mastered now. I was trying to master.
You would like Dragon Quest V then, because that's lifted directly from that.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he's probably taken inspiration and lifted a lot.
Absolutely,
of stuff.
It's called The Legend of Allegoria.
Yeah,
I mean that's absolutely.
So, but I like the opening. The opening is just like a long time ago, a lot of mad shit happened, and it goes this little intro, and then it's like people were impressed, and then over time they were less impressed. It's really well written.
I seen a trailer of it other day. I think it looks good.
It'll probably play on your laptop. Well, it will do.
Mate, it would, yeah. I can play. I could get quite a few games running on that. To be fair, I'm just a lazy bastard.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. A decent little demo. I think I played a bit longer because I was wandering around and trying to do things. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out on our main show rather than sticking it away in the Patreon. And also,
you got it.
Considering I was looking forward to this film a lot, I don't have a lot to say on it other than I'm slightly disappointed. And I watched The Whale this week.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
So-
you were talking about that for a lot, weren't you?
Yes, if you know, this is a Darren Aronofsky film starring Brendan
He's
Fraser.
usually good as
Fraser.
well.
And it tells the story of Charlie, who has developed over time a massive eating disorder, and he's become a very overweight man, unable to move out of the confines of his apartment. Like he's seriously overweight, and it's affecting his health and his issues, and he's basically dying. And his daughter comes back into his life after many years out of it. She's played by Sadie Sink. She's really great in this. And that's kind of the story. It's all set within his apartment. It feels very stagey, but it was taken from a stage show, so you kind of expect that. But I just didn't think that it struggled to move away from that. Some of the framing and some of the ways things are shot feels very stagey. Now, if you remember when you watched The Father, that's also taken, I think, from a stage show and done like that. But it didn't feel like that.
No, it was expansive, weren't it?
Yeah, I didn't ever feel like I was watching someone on stage, whereas this at times does feel like that.
The Father's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck.
That was
Such
really
a good film. Such a good film.
But Brendan Fraser is excellent in this. And I will say that the way he acts, the way he moves, everything about him drew me in, and he was believable with a man struggling with these issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Aronofsky's overuse of Moby Dick and the Bible and giving him a bit of a Jesus complex and making him a bit of a... I mean, he's a victim, but making him like... I don't want to go into spoilers too much, but I found the way that they framed the character quite manipulative, and it just didn't really work for me.
It's like I've not followed Brendan Fraser's career like everyone else has that much. I've seen The Mummy and stuff like that, and everyone says everything he's in, he's good in it, and he's one of the best things in whatever he's in.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's really, really good in this, and
don't matter if you're best actor in the world, if it's not a good screenplay or a good show, a good film, you can't save it.
Yeah, it's like he's excellent. Sadie Sink's excellent. There's surrounding all the castings do really, really well. They're really good. But something about it just didn't click with me. And some of my friends have rated it really highly, but I know some other critics that I've been listening to as well didn't rate it as high. And it seems to be a bit of a mixed bag. And I'm
I've seen
somewhere
it
in the
split.
middle.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like
split
bang in the
people.
middle where the performances has kind of elevated it for me. But
Yeah,
outside
imagine
of
if
that,
it weren't them and it was somebody lesser. It wouldn't have been a hit, would it?
Speaking of that, originally James Corden was meant to play.
Fuck off! Stop it!
It was going to be directed by Tom Ford, and James Corden was set to star as Charlie. Now that would have been terrible, but
Oh,
God.
God, imagine they'd have turned it into a comedy. We're singing
Yeah.
We're
it.
singing, yeah.
I'm big and obese, and guess what? Like, it'd been all like that.
yeah, but-
It'd have been mocking someone's like affliction rather than commentary on it.
yeah.
Oh God!
It didn't.
It keeps getting mentioned.
It didn't hit me as hard and tug on my heartstrings as much as I was expecting it to, based on everything I'd seen in the
Isn't
trailers.
it Oscar
and read
bait as
about
well?
it.
Someone said it's gonna. It's like. It's
Oh yeah, I
isn't
mean,
it?
he's been nominated for an Oscar for it, which is perfectly
He
fine. because
deserves. Done it perfectly.
He
like,
is a really puts on a
Yeah.
really great performance in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some of the Jesus complex things and the very last shot
Foul
of the
taste
film
in your mouth, mate.
is just a bit laughable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my week.
Your week has been better than mine because I've done fuck all, really. What did I write down here? I've been playing a little game. I don't really want to talk about it massively yet. It's been out a year or so, I think. Monster Sanctuary by Team 17. It's
I've heard this one.
It's a 2D Metroidvania, but instead of battling, it's Pokemon battles. So
Alright.
you collect monsters that you kill, you train them up like you do in Pokemon, but it's a Metroidvania, and you're walking around. It's really good. It's really good, but I'm nowhere near even halfway through it to really discuss it. But I have been binging, and I've talked about this before, way back before Candy weren't even born then. She weren't even on this podcast. I talked about this. Remember when I mentioned that Long Way Up, Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman, the motorbikes? I started watching all them again because they're all on Apple TV.
They're very good.
And I only saw Long Way Up last time, if you recall. It's the only one I watched, the new one, where they went up on electric bikes from
I saw that
Patagonia all the way up to California. But I watched the Long Way Round and the Long Way Down. Wow, they're good little documentary adventure shows, aren't they? Them,
Yeah, really good.
they are really good, and they seem like I don't know what they're like when they're not on camera, but these two gentlemen seem like really lovely individuals, and it's one of those shows where you're just like, I'm going to put next episode on. I don't care. I'm going to do it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Work tomorrow. Fuck that. And I've just been, I've been beaten, and they're really good. And I'm not like a motorbike guy, but I've been really interested in them talking about all the motorbikes and all the mechanics that they've had to do. And do you know what I mean? Like breaking down, like they went into Siberia on motorbikes, for fuck's sake. There's no tarmac. It's ridiculous. It's just really, really good shit. And I think like Apple TV have like up-res the original series because that were
Probably because the original series was like early 2000s.
yeah, because they've done something to it. They've put like it says on it. It mentions that it's been like remastered. That's the word I wanted to use. Remastered, and it looks good, even though those two gents look really young. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really like them, and I'm gonna, even though I've seen Long Way Up, I'm gonna rewatch that when I get around to that one as well. It's just, you know, really wholesome shit that you just watch, and you're like, fuck, this is good.
It does make you want to ride a bike as well, doesn't it? Just just go off with your mates with a tent.
Yeah, but maybe not like Siberia.
No.
No.
Maybe Route
Malawi.
66 with 4 or 5 star hotels.
Yeah,
at first.
tarmac only. But yeah, really, I recommend them if people have never checked them out. I know, like I said, they're old now, but I think there's something in it. They're not like time stamped to their era. Do you know what I mean? They're really out of time. They're just good to watch. So if you've never watched them, they're all on Apple TV now. So yeah, check that out. And that's been my waste of a week. Biggie, you must have 2 weeks worth of stuff to chat to us about. 2 weeks.
The Division 2?
No. So, All Quiet on the Western Front is a novel
Oh, it
by
is.
Eric Maria Remarque. I hope I got that, or Remarque.
Nailed it.
A German veteran of World War One. The book describes German soldiers' extreme physical and mental trauma during the war, as well as the detachment from civilian
Say
life
that again.
during the war.
During the war again. Say
During
again.
the war, as well as the detachment from civilian life, fell by many upon returning home from war. So the book has been adapted many times, but recently, as you may already know, All Quiet on the Western Front has now been a movie, 2022, a German epic anti-war film based on the novel. It's directed by Edward Berger. Here we go. It stars Felix Kammerer, Albrecht Schuch, Daniel Brühl, Sebastian Hook, Aaron Hilmer, Edin Hasanovic, and David Streisel. If I got those
Nailed
right.
it.
Nailed
Absolutely
every single one.
I thought fucking. I could have called you Gustav or something there. No, fucking. Jesus Christ. You were pure German then, mate. You were pure. I thought.
Go Nazis!
Fucking hell.
Um,
No, I didn't mean that. Why'd you have to ruin it? Why'd you have to...
can we still not do that? Okay.
No, you even lifted your arm up. You're such a dick.
It's available on Netflix. But yeah, this movie, wow. So it's set
There were no
during.
Nazis in that war anyway, really. So just irrelevant.
It's set during World War One. It follows the life of an idealistic young German soldier named Paul Baumer. After enlisting in the German army with his friends, Baumer finds himself exposed to the realities of war, shattering his early hopes of becoming a hero as he does his best to survive. The film adds a parallel storyline not found in the book, which follows the armistice negotiations to end the war. It's fantastic. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival in September. And
Didn't they go mad over it as well, saying it's incredible?
It's received 14 nominations at the British Academy Film Awards. It's won 7, including Best Film, 9 at the Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best International Feature. It is stunning. It's an incredible movie. Where was I? I've lost my way.
Here we go. The mustard gas is kicking in.
Yeah, so basically, the film starts because you have to talk about this really. The fantastic opening begins with like a tranquil view of a forest where the rain falls coming down. The camera pans up to the top of the trees. There's a lovely family of foxes huddled together for warmth. And then as the camera pans out of the forest, it then starts to pan across to the battlefield. And then all shit kicks off.
Is it trench
follows
warfare in this one?
Yes, it follows a soldier named.
Fascinating.
I believe it's named Heinrich, and it follows his journey as he goes over the top of the trenches as they attempt to make ground towards the enemy. Sadly, he is eventually shot and killed. Then the viewer is taken on a different journey as the soldier's uniform, particularly his jacket, is then removed amongst the many other fallen soldiers. We see what happens to the jacket as it's taken to be washed away, bullet holes stitched up, and then it's sent back out again to be issued to the protagonist of the movie, Paul.
Don't spoil the whole film.
They did that.
That is literally the opening.
They did that in Battlefield 1. Did you ever play the opening section to Battlefield 1 in the single player?
Yeah, when you die, you get the epitaph.
Yeah,
don't
you're just playing, and then you just die.
You become somebody else
out of nowhere, and then at the end it just comes like a white screen and soldier's name and that, and then it just moves on to the next soldier. And I thought it was so effective. I know, sorry, getting distracted from the film, but like the way it just the game force you right. That soldier's gone on to the next one. That soldier's gone on to the next one. That's how that's what that war did. Just
I think like
through people.
It's a good topic for films and stuff to go over because it's still fascinating. And I hate to use it. It's a fascinating war to look back at because they were fighting for inches. You know what I mean? Inches, and it was just devastating.
It's also we don't get enough films about World War One. We get loads about World War
It's
Two.
always two in it.
Yeah, because
sequel. Everyone loved the sequel more.
Well, because World War Two, you can get your lovely jingoistic propaganda points out of it.
Yeah,
you can twist it around. But because World War One was so
World War One were messy, weren't it?
It were messy and it were awful for everybody concerned. Yeah. You don't really get many films out of it.
Yeah, World War II had a definite bad guy. Like,
that's it. That's
in easiest terms to put it is that war definitely had a baddie that we had to focus on with other people.
World War One was just politics, weren't it?
Everyone
was fucking happening.
Everyone fucked up.
And that is covered in this movie because don't get me wrong, it doesn't do anything new in that respect because it still shows the horrors of war, particularly with the rookie kids that you meet at the beginning of the movies. You follow their journey throughout the war. But yeah, you've also got that political side where you've got the generals sitting in their, fancy pants hotel overlooking the war, just basically ordering their soldiers to go and
today,
die.
Sir. That kind of shit, innit?
Absolutely.
Interesting though, it's all, like I said, because it's from the German point of view. These films tend to be from an Allied or our side, so it's interesting to get these films from that. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing it. I refuse to watch it in English. I'm going to watch it in German.
I did the same.
And so I need to find the time when I can sit down and watch it, and concentrate on it.
The acting, again, I don't know these actors.
Daniel Bruhl's in it. He's brilliant in everything he's in.
If any of these guys are new, then they're fantastic in their role because they nail the camaraderie between themselves and those that they meet within their ranks. And you are enthralled by their journey, and some of them don't make it. And it's it's really heartbreaking. And it just, again, no different to Saving Private Ryan or anything else like that. It shows the brutal side of war. There's a lot of gruesome, brutal death. And it is really sad for what it happened. And the armistice side is really important as well, because at one point in the movie, depending on the French and the German agreeing this sort of armistice to the end, hopefully bring an end to this particular part of the war, because it also shows what happens right near the end of that war. The time scale of them making a decision, how it affects the soldiers on the battlefield.
And it was be all and end all, weren't it?
It's heart-wrenching. And it's just a very moving movie. It
is important not to forget that one, because like we've said, World War II
deserves
the one, isn't it?
All of the awards it's up for, without a doubt. And as you say, it shows the viewpoint of the German side, and it wouldn't really matter which country you put there because everybody suffered.
Nobody wanted to be there, did they? Nobody. Yeah, brilliant. Anything else to add on your 2 weeks off?
I'll cover a couple of things in the
Perfect.
Nexus Plus.
Sell that patron stuff. Candy, what you been doing, mate?
I've got a bit of a happier one, so we'll take it back up a little notch. And I watched a film called We Have a Ghost on Netflix.
Is that hard-hitting historical
that's
drama?
The one, yeah, that's the one. No, this is a family-friendly supernatural comedy written and directed by Christopher Landon and starring David Harbour again as Ernest the Ghost.
He's good.
Oh, yeah, Daddy Harbour. So
now we know why.
Yeah.
She's on this big Harbour trip, isn't she, lately? She's going to come back next week going, I've watched the newest Hellboy. I don't know what people are moaning about.
Do you know what? I did watch the newest Hellboy, and I don't know what people are moaning about. I liked it.
Shit. That's what they were moaning about. It's not good.
She didn't pay attention to the plot. She's just watching David Harbour.
It's the coat and the tail. Oh my god! Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So
bring back Ron Perlman.
Well, yeah, he's all right as well, though. To be fair.
Jesus, you've got a type. Big chins, strong jaws.
So going back to We Have a Ghost, so taken directly from Wikipedia, the plot says, after discovering that the new home is haunted by a ghost named Ernest, Kevin's father creates a YouTube channel and makes the ghost and his family internet famous. However, when Kevin and Ernest start to uncover the truth about Ernest's past, they become the target of the CIA. This has kind of bang average reviews online, but I actually quite enjoyed it, and it's not just because of David Harbour either.
That you've got really bad taste in films.
I think that, I think all evidence suggests that might be the case. But no, it's kind of reminiscent of the kind of 80s adventure films. You know, it's Ghostbusters original Ghostbusters for a slightly younger audience. In fact, it's kind of for the same audience that the latest Ghostbusters was. So it's kind of,
which is good.
Early teenagers, late kids.
It's what we like to call the Stranger Things generation.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Even maybe a little bit younger. So at the beginning of the film, Ernest lives in the attic of the house that the family move into and takes a particular shine to the youngest member of the family. So for a minute, I thought it was maybe... No, not that kind of a shine. Jesus Christ. No, what I'm saying is...
We have a nonce ghost.
Not a Nazi ghost. Christ. Just hear the jingle jangling in the background, and there he is.
Could you make that? You could make that the title if you turned the O into an asterisk. so we don't get took off.
I'll think about it.
Think about that in the cutting room, mate.
Turn it to Jimmy Somerville.
Oh.
Was he the lead singer of one of the bands from the 80s?
The Scottish guy.
Anyway,
God, yeah.
no, what I was going to say
sake.
is I thought it was leaning a little bit too heavily on Beetlejuice, going back to the 80s thing, but actually
On what?
Beetlejuice.
On what?
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
I
she's done
said it 3 times.
She's
And here he shall be.
Run. I'm glad you played into that. I'm glad.
Actually, it took me to the third go to realise what was happening.
No,
And then-
really?
Wait a minute.
I'm working with amateurs.
No, I got it. I got there eventually. But yeah, no, it swerved away from that quite quickly, I think. But so, like the film I reviewed last week, it's a lot of David Harbour just having a lot of fun again. His character can't speak, so he relies on just gestures and facial expressions.
Having a good jaw.
To communicate. Having a good jaw and a broad chest. And he does it quite good, does it quite well. It is a comedy, but it's actually quite a touching story as well. Like Ernest has no recollection of his life, so the family set out to give him his memories back. Like I said, it does have an 80s flavour to it, but it's set in the modern world. So when the video of the ghost goes viral, he basically becomes like a TikTok star and ends up with these like hundreds of fans that are constantly living outside the house and everything. It makes it impossible. There's also like the obligatory Jesus is coming dude as well, just hanging out there. But it's pretty fun. Like Christopher Landon is famous for his horror comedy movies. So he did Happy Death Day, Freaky. And Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. He also wrote a handful of the Paranormal Activity films as well. But this is way more toned down. There's way less gore and
Babies getting
scares.
ragged out of beds.
Yeah, not that kind of thing. So like
A lot less of that.
yeah, so it is definitely if you've got older kids or younger teens, it's fine to watch them. It's a good family.
Stig's writing it
time.
down for his little thing.
I'll add it to Amelia's, yeah.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
probably enjoy it.
exactly.
Honestly, yeah. There's nothing that would be really scary. There's maybe one scene that's a little bit gross, but it's fine. It's no
bit
worse
underneath
than
my lad's list now. He's on to Porky's already.
Nice.
Blazing Saddles next year.
Yeah.
Oh, Porky's is worse than Blazing Saddles, surely.
I don't know.
It's been a
Not
while since I
bad.
watched both.
One's good, one
Marathon.
isn't.
But yeah, no,
That's it.
so yeah, despite the kind of bang average reviews, I liked it. Thought it was fun.
And do you know what, mate? You're allowed to like it.
I'm going
Thanks.
to add that to our recommendation list.
Finally, Gadget, what you been playing this week?
I've had a fucking mare of a week. Everything's
no.
been shit this week.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Including the main feature.
Yeah. For
Forgot about that.
a start, we've already reviewed it, but I just need to say, me and Pip went to see Avatar 2 last night. What a load of fucking bollocks. Absolute.
The blue Smurfs, the space Smurfs
Fucking
is shite in it.
3
It's crap
hours
in
of-
it.
Oh,
I told you.
And we only have ourselves to blame for giving it money, don't we?
I told you.
so
You've
I was
added to that billions
I know.
that is made.
I was prepared not to see, but Pip really loved the first one. The first one kind of blew her away at the time when it came out with the graphics and all that, and she was really excited to see it. She wanted it to all be pretty. So we went and see it. The only show we get was a 3D one, and 3D is shite, which meant all the colour was washed out. So I got a fucking headache.
No.
And I'm going to rant that's going to my kill with fire this week, so for Patreon people. But
3D
just-
cinema should die.
yeah,
I agree.
But, yeah, oh god, what a load of fucking shite. My arse fell asleep for no good reason.
I had 3 poos in that film.
But
Put that on the box.
I did.
the thing I want to talk about, which I also really didn't like, is I played a good chunk of Atomic Heart.
You were
Oh,
dead
dear.
excited for this, weren't you? It's
I
happened
was-
again.
I was dead excited
People,
for this.
I'm just. Let me just say this to game devs: stop making our Gadget sad because he gets excited for your games and you just piss on him. It's not fair.
Was
So-
this your pick for your fantasy critic thing?
Mm.
Oh shit! I don't. Oh
It
fucking.
was
hope
because
not.
I texted you and said I wanted Atomic Heart.
Oh,
Ooh. I'm actually going to have to find that. I can't carry on until I work this out.
no, you're still at top of the list.
I'm still at the top of the list. Did I have Atomic Heart? I don't think I had Atomic Heart.
You did, because I texted you.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Maybe
Shit, it's 74.
Yeah.
So I did get 4 points out of it. Anyway, so Atomic Heart is a first-person shooter game from they call themselves International, but they're so fucking Russian, from a developer called Mundfish.
They are Russian.
They are Russian. But for tax purposes, they're incorporated in Cyprus. I think that's the thing.
Nice.
Wikipedia calls it a FPS video game with role-playing, customization, and stealth elements. It wants to be.
What do you call it?
It wants to be BioShock.
It looks like BioShock. It looked great.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the setting, and then I'm going to get you in all the reasons why it's not BioShock. So this is the 2-paragraph setting thing on Wikipedia. Atomic Heart takes place in the grounds of Facility 3826, the Soviet Union's foremost scientific research hub in an alternate history 1955. In 1936, scientist Dmitry Sechenov developed a liquidized programmable module called the Polymer, sparking massive technological breakthroughs in the fields of energy and robotics in the USSR and freeing much of the populace from manual labor. When World War II broke out, the Soviets quickly gained the upper hand, but just before Nazi Germany was defeated in 1942, they unleashed the Brown Plague virus, leaving millions dead and created an international demand for Soviet robots to compensate for the resulting worker shortage.
I did that in the toilet this morning.
As part of this...
The Brown Plague.
As part of the Soviet Union's post-war reconstruction program, Dr. Sechenov created a wireless networked artificial intelligence called Collective 1.0 that links his robots together for greater efficiency. And most recently, Sechenov developed the Thought Neuroconnector, a device that integrates polymer into the human body and allows humans to remotely interface with robots.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to go awry at all, is it?
No.
So, this game desperately, absolutely wants to be BioShock. You start off in this kind of in this place where there's this parade going on, and it looks like Colombia because you're in this kind of elevated, like lifted off the ground city.
I thought it's called Rapture.
No, it's trying to do BioShock Infinite.
I have not played that yet.
Well, it's a city in the sky kind of thing going on.
Spoiler alert.
It's on the fucking box, you dickhead.
I've got it digital.
It was marketed about being in the sky and not underwater.
I'm joking. I know it's in the sky.
Anyway, so you go in for this, and you have your usual preamble setting up the world. Here's a little bit of polymer. Here's what you can do with it. Here's this glove that talks to you.
Is this some strong male chorus music in the background?
No,
Soviet.
Actually, there is a lot of it. There is a lot of, my God, the Soviet Union is amazing. Look at the things that we can do that the rest of the world can't do and shit like that.
Great architecture, though. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. This is weird architecture in this anyway. And then shit kind of goes off the rails when you get into a flying car, and then robots start attacking you, and you fall into the facility, and then you have to start the game proper. So, yeah, the reasons why this is not BioShock. One, it doesn't get that BioShock is a critique on libertarianism. It doesn't get that it's a politically failed message. This is, we are the Soviets, this is so good. Oh no, there's one evil one that's making it all appear a bit bad. We have to stop that.
It would have been better without that evil one.
Yeah.
It would have worked.
The lead character you play, Comrade Major Nechayev, codename P3, who's just referred to...
sounds like Troy Baker in the trailer.
Because I think it is Troy Baker.
Right.
He's generally referred to as Comrade Major. He is the least likable character I have ever encountered in a video game.
Why is he American?
I don't know. I mean, you can play it in Russian, but yeah, he has American voiceover. He has this glove called Charles, not Charles, Charles, which is full of polymer that talks to him, but also gives him superpowers like telekinesis and ice and lightning. There's your plasmids, everybody. There's your Bioshocky. And then the robots come running at you, and then you start fighting them with this kind of melee weapon that you find, and it's like fucking Skyrim. You're just kind of gently waving it in front of you to try and hit things. Yeah, no connectivity. There's no weight to anything. It's got a
That's what I don't like about Skyrim.
It's got a terrible shotgun.
What? How is
What?
that possible? That don't exist.
The shotgun is awful.
We've
Granted,
had good shotguns in games since 1992.
granted, this might be because I've just come from Doom Eternal, which has one of the best shotguns in gaming. But
Absolutely.
this one is just really disappointing. The game runs like a bag of fucking spanners on the Xbox Series X. It glitches, the frame rate's all over the shop. Checkpointing is weird, like you'll die in one place, then have to redo 10 minutes of conversation to get back to where you were, which pisses me off at the best of times.
Yep.
The game is so needlessly, endlessly horny for no good reason.
And I'm back in.
So, like, when you're when the intro bit before, like, the shit hits the fan, you have to go up to Sechenov's office because you are kind of, like, very reliant on him. You refer to him almost like a father because he saved your life after the war or something like that. And saving your life, he kind of wiped your memory and you forgot that you had a wife.
You became American?
And became American. I mean, if you
How
actually...
does one go about that?
I don't know. The thing is, for 1955, if you look at a picture of the protagonist, he's got dreadlocks and an undercut as well, which I don't think was a hairstyle in the 50s.
No.
But
not in the Fatherland. No way.
But anyway, yes, you go up to Sechenov's office because you need to get a key, and you meet the ballerina twins, which are these kind of ultra over-the-top sexified faceless robots, which are Sechenov's kind of...
We need to stop trying to shag robots, I'm telling you.
There is a cutscene in it
stop.
which it's almost like a fucking simulated sex scene between the two of them. It's really fucking creepy. You also get the upgrade droid Nora, who is so fucking horny for the main character, it's unreal. But she looks like a fridge. She's just like a red fridge.
That's very rude.
No, it is literally a red fridge.
All right.
But you
just a big girl.
You go up to it, and the dialogue is some of the worst I've encountered in a game. But the dialogue for Nora is so cringeworthy because she'll be like, "Take off that glove, and we can be together. I can't wait for you to put your polymer inside me. Make it hard. I love a big, strong man." It's fucking so every time I got to it, and it's 90% of the upgrade machines have this Nora personality. I wanted to peel my skin off every time I went to upgrade my weapon. It is so... You go in for, like, so it does that thing that like, Doom Eternal's good at, where you can find, like, secret areas with, like, little platform puzzles to get some, like, gear.
Yep.
You go in there. Platform puzzles, you're generally kind of jumping around pistons, which are big pipes with a thing moving up and down like that on it.
Oh, give up.
No, and with a kind of bulbous head at the top. It's
For
so much
people that don't
wonking.
watch the YouTube, you've just got yourself a little gif there.
Yeah.
Is there any graffiti that says HR Giga was here?
No. There is...
Comrade Giga.
When they did
But
that
there
kind
is
of
so
stuff,
much masturbatory subtleness and so many weird, sexy things that just don't fit in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't care if a game is like sexy or horny or whatever, but this doesn't fit with what they're trying to achieve. It doesn't make sense
The
for any
Russians
of us
have
to
always
be
been
here.
super horny, though.
but that's what I was going to say. Like in High on Life, that dialogue worked.
It's deliberate.
It's deliberate. That the horny dialogue, the kind of
Because it works in that setting.
Because it works in the setting. It worked for the people. It worked that the knife. This Australian.
I don't remember
voice
any
knife
like...
that enjoyed plummeting itself into people. Like it all worked. Like, but
Yeah, but
just
that
to
is a
have
comedy
random-
game, innit? That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
difference.
Just to
I
have
don't recall
random
BioShock
machines
having
getting
any
sexy,
sexiness.
It's
No.
weird.
And
Was there any like horniness in BioShock? Oh, I don't think there was there?
No, not really.
No, just the bees.
yeah.
The game, I think more than anything, like I can forgive a lot of things with the game, with games, like a lot of weird decisions. The game is boring to play. The gunplay is not good. The melee combats are not good. The lead character and his talking glove Charles, the two of them never fucking
Charles.
shut up. It's
Charles.
It's constant exposition. You'll walk into a room and you're doing that immersive sim thing where you're just like hoovering up all the items in the room. And he'll go, "Oh, Charles, isn't this this Soviet doofer-dingler thing that took over the world?" And go, "Yes, it was created by this man in 1930." And it goes on like that for like a 5-minute expositionary thing. It's like, no, give me that in a lore log. Give me I can read that.
Yeah,
at
read
some
it at
point.
your leisure.
The only thing I will praise for this game is that Mick Gordon did the soundtrack and it's banging.
Is it like metal then? Is it?
No, it's not metal. It's very synthy. But
Is it?
and credit to it, when all the controversy came out about this game, the fact that it came out around about It came out the week of the anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
And it's funding.
Mick Gordon released a statement a few months ago condemning the war, and he also donated his entire fee of 2 years' worth of work to the Red Cross Ukraine crisis.
Lad.
Nice.
As usual, Mick Gordon being the good guy here, but
What a guy.
the thing is, the game is rates all over the place. Like, Destructoid gave it a 6 out of 10. The Hardcore Gamer gave it a 4.5 out of 5. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10.
The Hardcore Gamer? Who the fuck's that?
This is just what's on Wikipedia.
Not you, is it?
Not me!
GameSpot gave it a 6. Some people have given it a 4. The Metro gave it a 5. It's all over the place. You might enjoy this more than I did, but don't go into this thinking it's a BioShock contender. Much as it wants to be.
I'm not touching it with a barge pole, mate. I'm not touching
And it's just really weird to hear the dialogue where like the character, the initial character you're chasing, who you think is the misdirect on a bad guy. It's like, come on, Charles, we have to find this guy and stop him because he betrayed the fatherland. I'm like, oh, it's so cringe. No, don't. It's just so weird to hear that because like maybe it's just like kind of preconditioned because we're so used to Russians being the bad guys and things, but it's so weird to be defending the fatherland as a good little Soviet boy, you know?
Especially nowadays with what's
right now, yeah.
There's a sour taste in the mouth. And again, let's not get political, but it's still there in the back of your head, isn't it?
It doesn't sit right for me. Doesn't sit right for me. So
Yeah.
Best, it's also in the week that it came out, it had 4 15 gig updates.
What?
Yeah,
That's
because it's
nearly like Callisto Protocol. That.
It's fucking hacked to shit. The best update I did was deleting it from my Xbox. It's also 75 gig to download.
What is the hit rate now for things you're looking forward to, mate, and getting distraught over it?
It's getting fucking low. I'm really worried about Resident Evil 4.
Don't be worried about that.
Shut your whore mouth.
Don't you be worried about that.
Don't you put that on anyone.
Everything I look forward to
they've already proven
me.
with 2 and 3 that they can...
You need to shut your mouth. Don't do this. Because if it's bad, it's you that's done this.
I know.
Stop getting excited for things. So has that been your horrible week?
I've got one good thing, but I'll talk about that in the Patreon bit.
Absolutely. Right, from one turgid piece of shit to the next turgid piece of shit. This is the main topic of the show. Stig, in his infinite wisdom, reminded me a few weeks ago that we were doing his idea for us, because it's still, I know, surprisingly, romance month, love month. And he said, why don't we review some rom-coms? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've not seen that many. Then these two, and I'm not blaming Stig for this, these two idiots said, no, let's do the worst ones.
Well, because it's funny.
The worst ones.
Everybody really enjoyed hearing your pain at Bloodfart Lake.
I bet nobody watched it.
Of course they didn't. They have sense.
No, because no one's going to watch that. No one's going to watch these.
Quite good.
So yeah, we were reviewing the worst that Stig could find, and he distributed them randomly, didn't you, Stig? Randomly.
Yours wasn't random.
No, I know it went.
The one Biggie got wasn't random.
Yeah, the one Biggie got wasn't random.
Biggie wasn't even here to get this, so I am very looking forward to hearing what Biggie thinks of Gigli. Is it Gigli?
It is Gigli, and even if it was Jiggly, there's no bounce in this movie. Even with Jennifer Lopez's arse in it, it has no bounce. So, this is a 2003 American, and then I put
just hear in the tone of so
romantic comedy crime film of just what is written and directed by Martin Brest and stars Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez,
Martin Brest,
Justin Bartha, Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, and Lainey Kazan. So, despite popular media giving attention and interest to the film during production, primarily because it starred Ben Affleck and Lopez, who were romantically involved at the time, Gigli was heavily panned, and rightly so, since its release. It is considered one of the worst films of all time. It's also one of the most expensive box office bombs in history, grossing $7.2 million against, and I don't even understand where this budget has come from, $75.6 million budget. To date, it's the most recent film Brest directed, and I'm not surprised. So, charisma vacuum, Ben Affleck plays Larry Gigli, a low-ranking Los Angeles mobster who's not nearly as tough as he likes to act. Lewis, a high-ranking member of Gigli's organisation, commands him to kidnap the mentally challenged younger brother of a powerful federal prosecutor to use as a bargaining chip to save a New York-based mob boss, Starkman, from prison. Gigli is attracted to Ricky, but he resents both Lewis's lack of faith in him and having to take orders from a woman. He is also frustrated by Brian's insistence on going to the Baywatch, in quotes, and by the fact that Ricky is a lesbian. A suspicious detective comes to his apartment to question Gigli in reference to Brian's disappearance. So this film basically is almost filmed in this one apartment, is the main bump of what happens in this movie, and nothing happens in this movie. It's just so fucking boring. Nothing happens. So I'm so disappointed watching this movie. It's just, I don't understand nothing happened in this film.
Did you not even get Jennifer Lopez in skimpy underwear?
I would say that normally that was a bonus, but I was really pissed off. I couldn't knock one out on this movie. It was just, it just wasn't that wasn't enough. Yeah, it was just. I mean, there are scenes, right? So Christopher Walken is literally in this movie for 5 minutes. He's the detective that comes to their door. He walks in. What? He looks like he doesn't. You know the way that Christopher Walken normally. You know the way he normally talks.
Yeah.
But he does that as if he's forgotten his lines in this movie. He is literally trying to be intimidating, but he never reappears in this movie ever again. Just, that's it. He walks in, he says, I'm looking for this guy that's missing. Do you guys know where he is? Ben Affleck says, no. And then he goes, okay. And then he leaves. And that is it. You never see him again.
There's a famous anecdote that it was Kevin Smith, of all people. Don't get too excited, Candy. He was mentioning, because obviously he had Affleck on a film of his just after this one, and famously Christopher Walken got paid $1 million for that little cameo.
It's ridiculous. It's not even a good cameo, honestly. It really isn't. And there's some really weird stuff in this movie, because talking about Kevin Smith, you know his movie Chasing Amy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which has a similar thread where Ben Affleck has the hots for this girl that's a lesbian. And it's the same thing again, but this time he wins. He has turned a lesbian. It's ridiculous.
That's what Kevin Smith was talking about. They were kicking off about it. They were kicking off about it because it's plagiarism.
The whole movie feels like it's amateur dramatics. There is absolute zero chemistry between the leads. You know, when I was talking about
actual lovers in real
Rings,
life, there's zero chemistry.
You've got that chemistry between Viggo Mortensen and Liv Tyler. And then you've got a movie like this where there's no sparks at all. It's just fucking awful. There's the script, there's things like, I'm the bull, you're the cow, and then later on in bed he goes, moo. There's a massive discussion around like a vagina monologue where she discusses the essence, the beautification of vaginas and trying to explain why she's a lesbian. There's a girl that, funny enough, looks like the girl Chasing Amy turns up. And again, she's in there for 5 minutes and she says she's stalking them, but they never went anywhere. So how does she know that they were there? Did
you like
the brother? No, the brother who's really, he's uncomfortable around women and things like that. The one that's sort of got, as they put it, mental defects. He says that he got excited once and it made his penis sneeze.
That's awkward.
As Ben Affleck manages to turn Jennifer Lopez's lesbian character into being able to sleep with her. You've got the very famous scene where she's lying on bed and she goes, "It's turkey time, gobble gobble," as he gets her to go down on her. The next day in the morning after they've slept with each other, because he's managed to turn her, he says, "God bless you, penis." Eventually, when you find out who the prosecutor is, it's Al Pacino. He, again, is in it for 5 minutes. And then he shoots some guy in the head and the brains splatter behind him. And some of the brains go into the fish tank. And there's a fish that swims past and eats some of the brains. I didn't know fish like brains. Interesting fact. Al Pacino is all hoo-ha.
Yep.
And then one of the last lines of the movie is when she looks at Ben Affleck in his eyes and she says to him, "Somehow you got through," i.e., he got through the fact that she was a lesbian. And
He broke through the lesbian wall.
Oh, it is just dire. And that is literally all I can talk about the movie. Nothing happens. I was bored, man.
What rating would you give it out of 5?
None. I mean, I would.
None.
I can watch rom-comedies. I have no problem watching rom-comedies at all. But this was it's just nothing happens in this film. It's just boring. No wonder it's a disaster. And I've watched it, so you don't have to. Thanks for giving me that.
It's one of the highest Razzie Award winning films of all time, isn't it?
It's awful, man. It's just nothing happens. I wasted 2 hours and 10 minutes watching that movie.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Jesus.
And
Is that
10
how long
minutes
it is?
of nothing happening. Of nothing happening. Nothing happened. Nothing exciting. It's awful. So yeah, I'm done. Thanks.
Quit.
Bring on the Fast and Furious instead, eh?
Now that
Do you know
is
what?
a rom-com.
Yeah, I would watch them all through again and rather sit through that.
Or just finish the ones we've asked you to, please.
Yeah,
Stig.
that's just dire.
Right, so I gave myself a film called Accidental Love, an American romantic comedy film directed by David O. Russell. Wrote it. It stars Jessica Biel, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Kirstie Alley in her final role, as well as
Great cast.
where's the fucking who's the other bloke? Tracy, what's his name?
Morgan?
Yeah, Tracy Morgan's in there as well. He's terrible. He's terrible in everything.
Yes.
He is.
He's
terrible.
got in 30 Rock, but that's just because he has to play himself.
Yeah, it's not really a stretch, is it?
So the story of this film is a congressman falls for a waitress who has a nail in her head.
Fucking what, mate?
Fuck off.
Is it like
Hellraiser.
Is it like the bloke from Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. A clueless politician falls in love with a waitress whose erratic behaviour is caused by a nail stuck in her head.
Is it like sticking out her head all the way through the film?
No, and that's the most disappointing thing. You can't see the nail. At no point
So it's
do you
like
see the nail
it's in
sticking
a
out
skull?
of the head. Yeah, it's in a skull. So basically what happens, the setup for this is that our film's lead is Alice, who's played by Jessica Biel. She works at a roller diner with and her boyfriend Scott, played by James Marsden, who's a policeman. He takes her on a meal to propose to her, and during that, there's a guy doing a handyman fixing something in the restaurant. He falls off his ladder and ends up putting a nail through her head with a nail gun. But she ends up, as she's on the bed to get surgery, she's about to be put out, and
Put down with a cow gun.
yeah, they
Recovering her back.
and they come in and go, well, we have to stop. She's not insured. And they all go, oh, right, okay, so we're not going to, she's not insured, so we're not going to perform the surgery on her. Turns out the surgery is something like $150,000. And it's basically the whole film is a massive lame attempt at trying to satire the American healthcare system.
Is this film sponsored by Obamacare?
In the guise of a romantic comedy. So they try, but the problem is the tone of this film doesn't work for satire. It is more on the level of Scary Movie with some of the jokes. Like, it's just...
At least yours had jokes.
Barely. I didn't laugh once. Not
Even
once.
at the nail getting in their head?
No,
I'd have been
not
pissing me
once in this film. The best line about it is where she says, because the nail obviously causes her to act erratically, get angry
Is
or
it
emotional
under her
at times.
hair or something?
Yeah, you don't see it. It's just in a skull.
Oh, shame.
I know exactly.
I wanted it being big.
Yeah, I
really
wanted
big
like a
at the top of
nail
her
just, like
head.
sticking out of her head, and it causes her to, for some reason, be able to speak Polish at random times. And,
Oh my god!
And obviously say things that she shouldn't do. So at one point, she's just like, maybe because they said, that the nail in her head could change things, so your sex life could change. She's like, oh, maybe I could have an orgasm for once. And he's like, no, I've told you, like only 40 to 60% of women, they can't get orgasms. The joke is obviously he can't perform well enough.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what is an orgasm. Can you explain that to me, please?
So he actually
It's a
breaks up
penis
with her.
sneeze.
Sneezes.
He breaks up with her. Penis sneeze.
That's
Yeah.
the pod title.
We're not calling it penis sneeze. Might have to. Oh dear.
Yeah. So he breaks up with her, and she goes through a bit of depression. She sees Howard Birdwell, who's played by Jake Gyllenhaal, is their local congressman on TV, and he's all like, if there's a problem, I can fix it, that kind of thing. And she's, oh, he's the guy to fix my problem, to help with better healthcare. So they do this whole thing of her going to Washington to find him. There's a representative there called Pam Hendrickson, played by Catherine Keener. And all she wants to do is pass legislation to build a base on the moon. So she's like full on, kind of, she's a Republican, basically. Where
Does she believe the Nazis are already there?
well, they want to build a base on the moon for national security, obviously, because it'll keep them safe, non-blown up,
Yes.
and it's a
Space laser, isn't
and
it?
it's a moon base. Yeah, it's cool. So, yeah, it's that typical, it's Space Force. This all came out. The problem is, this all came out before Trump was in power and did all that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Predicted the future.
PA randomly played by Pee Wee Herman.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, they actually plays Pee Wee Herman as her personal assistant. I'm just going to go through the film here because it's just a bunch of things that happen. She eventually bumps into Howard in the hall and tries to bring up healthcare, which he immediately shuts down. And
Because she's dead handsome, she falls in love with him.
because she's obviously got the nail in the head. If she takes a knock on the head, it sometimes can jolt that and make her do different
Fuck
things.
off.
So she takes a knock to the head from someone walking down the hall carrying something, and all of a sudden she just jumps on him and takes him to her room and shags him.
Wow.
Because it turned on some kind of libido in her or whatever. And she calls herself, and I quote, "Ooh, I became a dirty little nail slut there."
Candy, she stole your idea.
Wow.
Yep. This sex scene is just a camera spinning around the room with feet in the air and them just making sex noises.
That's what it is, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
what I do.
And she's just like, "Ooh, I had my first orgasm," because, calling back to the earlier joke.
Was the congressman not married and had a family or anything like that?
No.
Luckily, because what if he did?
No, well,
Scandal.
yeah. But he obviously promises her that he can help her with this. If she can come
She's
and
banged him.
he realizes that with her case, if she could be like a spokesperson for the moon base for some reason, I have no idea why. They've got like the Girl Scouts doing press conferences to big up the moon base, and he brings her as part of it. And he's going to try and sneak her healthcare bill in within the moon base, and it's convoluted. It makes fucking zero sense. What else? I forgot to part that Tracy Morgan is obviously with her because he has health issues. He has a prolapsed anus, and
Nice.
her priest friend has a constant boner because he took Viagra. to help
Priest.
he took Viagra to help with an issue, and it came, and he has a constant erection.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Dear.
There's never any Nancy stuff done. It's just
No, but...
it's just I don't know why he's a priest. I don't know why that makes any
Wow.
difference. Oh, yeah. So where are we now? They meet the Speaker of the House, and he dies in a hilarious situation where the priest has to give him the Heimlich, and he's obviously ramming his erect penis into the Speaker all the time.
The Speaker of the House.
The Speaker of the House, yeah,
Fucking hell.
who's trying to claim that the moon base was his idea. So then they get the defibrillator out while he's choking to try and save him, but
On the dick.
Hendrickson, she kicks the power socket out of it, so he dies
Oh.
because she wants to take claim for the moon base.
Oh, dear.
There's a such fucking body count going on here.
Yeah, yeah. What else have we got?
It wasn't
Alison
her,
has
it was the
an
nail.
outburst at the funeral, making the big speech about the Speaker.
Is Leslie Nielsen the president in this?
That's what I mean. The comedy in it is almost, it's like Scary Movie level, like that kind of writing. It's just not good. Where else? Everything's just so cartoonish. Like everyone
Yeah.
acts really cartoonish. It's really weird. Girl Scouts, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, to combat the Girl Scouts who have now joined up forces with Alice,
Combat them.
because the Girl Scouts were upset that they'd got promised Shakira and then Shakira never turned up. So now the congresswoman releases an anti-socialist video saying that the lead Girl Scout is part of a lesbian cult and they need to stop the gay poison and vote against this healthcare bill.
I agree.
But the funny thing about that is you look at that and go, actually,
Hate lesbian
people
cults.
actually think shit like that.
I know what they do. The weirdos, aren't they?
I'm going to skip through a lot of this because it's shit. By the time we get to the end, where he brings up the bill in Congress, she gives this big "fuck yeah, America" speech that tries to, get everyone on
Land
side.
of freedom,
and they all clap and they all cheer and like, yeah, 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 and then they still vote healthcare no. Unanimously vote no against healthcare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does the credits roll and she's still got a nail in her?
No, so Howard basically rejoins the party like a slimy politician and proposes that they rename a gymnasium after the previous speaker, but what he's done is snuck in a healthcare bill into that. So people just sign it off without reading it. And then it ends with him getting kicked out of the party and going to Alice and their kiss. And the problem with this film, right, is it isn't a romantic comedy. I don't know why this is in the list of romantic comedies. Like, I was watching it going, there's nothing I'd been happy with a typical romantic comedy that was shit rather than an attempt at satire. This is trying to do something to like Idiocracy or like Don't Look Up did. I know this came out before Don't Look Up, but it's trying to do something in that same vein, masquerading itself as a romantic comedy, which it just clearly isn't. And the problem is that everything is pitched far above any sense of reality, and to the point where, like I said, it's cartoonish, it's a parody, it's not satire, it's a scary movie, the acting's terrible. Everyone, like Jake Gyllenhaal's fucking incredible actor. What the fuck is he doing in this film? And he's terrible.
I asked him that when he did Prince of Persia.
He's terrible in it. Like Jessica Biel's terrible in it. Like everyone in this film, is just really bad. It's like they've been told to act bad. Like they've been told, be a bad actor.
I love that David O. Russell took his name off the film.
Yeah, he did. He's disowned the film. It's like, no, fuck off, mate. You wrote and made this film. Fucking own it. You can't just pick and choose it because it's a bad film. Fucking own it. Tracy Morgan is there for the racial stereotype jokes, which he even makes a joke about within the film. Directing and editing, framing, everything is rubbish. It looks low rent as fuck. The green screening when they go to Washington is so bad. And the score is just generic. It tries to manipulate you at times with rousing scores and sad scores and that. It's just crap. It's not a romantic comedy. That's what's bothered me more about this. Is I had to sit through a shit film as on a satire about the American healthcare system, which we all know is shit anyway, but it wasn't even a good satire on it. And it wasn't a romantic comedy, so I didn't even get that out of it.
I didn't get my rom-com or crime drama out of mine because nothing happened.
At least stuff actually does happen in this, but it's just terrible.
You know what is a good rom-com about a girl with a brain injury? 50 First Dates, starring Adam Sandler.
It's a bit rapey though, isn't it?
It's also not good.
I've got out of focus.
Speaking of, in fact, put a number on that. What would you rate it, mate?
Well, I only rate my films 1 to 5 based on Letterboxd, so it gets to 1 automatically. But yeah, it's terrible, and no wonder this is in the bottom thing. It's not even a good film. It's not even a good film. Someone going, "Oh, watch this satire in the American healthcare system."
Right. Speaking,
you didn't even see the nail.
Speaking of films that aren't romantic comedies, I got given a film called Serving Sarah. I thought it was Sarah at first, but it's actually Sarah. Directed by Reginald Hudlin. From great credits such as producing Django Unchained and a lot of good stuff. He directed this in whatever fucking year it was.
2002.
Yeah. Starring Matthew Perry, Elizabeth Hurley, Bruce Campbell, Vincent Pastore, and Cedric the Entertainer. We're in for a wild ride now, guys. So, like all things I get given, I like to write notes while I'm watching it. So here's my ramblings and musings of Serving Sarah. Right. Matthew Perry goes down an elevator. This is how it starts. Like Ethan Hunt to serve a subpoena to a mob boss. I am not kidding you. This is a James Bond knockoff. The the beginning of it. It looks like Piers Morgan and Jeremy Clarkson birthed an egg that hatched him. You know what I mean? He is... there's something I need to discuss about this. Throughout this film, his weight fluctuates ridiculously. I don't know what were going on behind the scenes, because I don't know the man.
So that was when Matthew Perry was really having issues with drinking drugs?
It happened in Friends as well.
Yeah, I assumed something was happening, because he looks like two different people.
From kind of like 99 to 2004, he was constantly in and out of rehab, and you can actually trace it over the series of Friends he was in. There's
you can see it in this.
Like the 2001 series, he's kind of really chunky. The 2002 series is really like being thin. Next season, he's the normal weight and stuff like that. He's like all over the shop, depending on how well he was.
Yeah, well, my notes are going to look bad now.
That's fine. Like he's owned it. Like
Fat Perry, Thin Perry.
So he looks and acts like James Bond in like a big mobster casino.
I always thought
already
Matthew Perry. I always thought that.
Oh, absolutely.
Missed opportunity if only he was British.
Yeah, if only. Yeah, and 5 minutes into the thing, I get an ad break for Geico Insurance. Yes, I'm watching a rip because I couldn't find this fucking film. I'm watching a rip on Daily Motion.
Oh, it's a Daily Motion one as well.
Yeah, I get a Geico Insurance commercial.
How 2007?
Yep. Then we get back after the commercial break. His 5 o'clock shadow is doing my head in at this beginning bit. He's got like really terrible stubble that looks like it's stuck on. You know what I mean? Just looks terrible. He looks tired. He looks tired again. He's saying shit. He's saying, he's proper fast talker, this guy, isn't he? He's a fast talker. He says to this guy, the name's Bond, Barry Bond. I didn't laugh. I don't understand why he did that. His name's not Barry in this. Then the wise guy mobsters turn up. Fat Charlie's after someone called Fat Charlie. He serves Fat Charlie with a subpoena, and they all put guns on him. And then he goes, yes, officer, come in now, and they let him go. He's actually talking to a kid outside on the radio. There's no officer there. So if you don't know what a process server is, it's someone that gets sent by state court to give like divorce papers, subpoenas, anything. And you've got to admit that you're that person in American stupid justice system before you can actually get served those subpoenas and stuff. I think it's such a stupid thing, that one. Anyway, we're all right. Yeah, he does that. That's just the opening. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the film. It's just to show that that's what he does.
Did you tell us what the plot was?
Nope. This is it.
Okay.
This is it. I'm telling you what the plot is. There isn't one.
Sensing a pattern with these films.
Yeah. It goes back to the home office to work. Cedric the Entertainer is his boss. He acts like a pimp and he dresses like a pimp. It's proper stereotyping. He says he talks pimp stuff. You know what I mean?
Talks
like.
We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Have you ever seen is it the other guys with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
When he goes, Gator knows, you know what I mean? When he says he used to be a pimp and he does all that shit, he talks like that. But yeah, and he wears pimp clothes and stuff. Anyway, Tony, the other guy in this, he turns up. He's played by Vincent Big Pussy Pastor from Sopranos. Everyone, you know his face when you see him. And he gets called a wop 5 times.
Oh.
Racial slurs already. And he owns it, but it's still, I'm like, ooh, this is very early 2000s. And there's more racial slurs. And the other ones I'm not reading out. Matthew Perry is then sent to Texas on a big, get ready, $5,000 serving job. The big one. $5,000. Huge. This is going to save Matthew Perry's life. He says, I know, don't worry about that bit. I read one of his jokes. He goes, thanks for the prediction, Nostradamus. It's not very good, that one. That's not a very good joke. I didn't laugh. This 5K job is important to Cedric the Entertainer to keep the business going. Now, smash cut, Liz Early shows up and she's proper fit. I wrote that down. I was a bit drunk while I was watching it. She's very fit and talented. Bruce Campbell has been seeing her and drops her off at the airport. Bruce Campbell, he is proper chewing.
I mean, that's what he does.
No, but worse than ever. You know, like Army of Darkness?
Yeah.
That's nothing compared to this. Because he's playing a big business Texas tycoon. You can imagine
out like that.
Oh, his chin's fantastic. Fantastic in this. He drops Liz Early off. Turns out it's his wife. As he drops her off at the airport, he drives 5 yards down the road and picks up his mistress, who's getting off the plane. Uh-oh, something's happening. So then Matthew Perry is sent to serve Liz Hurley, who's called Sarah. He shows up to her apartment. He walks past this beautiful Liz Hurley. He's like, and he goes, Sarah, whatever her fucking surname is. And she goes, oh, she lives over there. And she like runs off. She knows what's coming. A subpoena's coming. And then he realises it's her somehow. And then he realises he's serving divorce papers because Bruce Campbell wants to divorce Sarah. Right? Do you get the plot? This strong, powerful plot. Basically, this mistress, he wants to marry her. Whatever. So, after finding Sarah and stuff like that, blah, 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 she decides a different plan. She's got like something like 48 hours. If she serves Bruce Campbell first, she gets half of his fund, his fortune. But if she gets served before him, whatever, she gets nothing. So she offers Matthew Perry $1 million to help her serve her husband. Guess what happens on the road, guys? Guess what happens on the road?
They fall in love.
They start falling in love, baby.
Born out of different circumstances. Troubling circumstances.
You may wonder how it got here. So they go on this little adventure. Matthew Perry, literally, I've written down here, he looks like he couldn't fit in a seat in one part on the plane. He's massive. And then he gets off the plane. He's lost so much weight.
It was a long flight.
Just the pressure.
Airplane food.
It must have been the pressure. There's a scene where they're trying to find, obviously, Bruce Campbell in Texas. It's a small state, so it'd be easy to find, wouldn't it? No, it's one of the biggest states.
I think it is the biggest state.
Yeah.
After Alaska. But, yeah, it's big.
I
It's
forget
fucking
about that
big.
one. There's not fuck all in there.
Fuck you, Alaska. But, yeah. So they're searching, and they go to one of his ranches. Terry Crews is the bodyguard. Terry Crews has 2 lines in this film. 2. So he's just basically tall, strong, black guy, bodyguard. He is told by Bruce Campbell, if you see them turning up, my wife and the serving, the process server, shoot them. Shoot them. It's Texas. It's Texas. Funny. And he does try and shoot him, blah, blah, blah. What else have I got? I'm running out of notes. So, by 45 minutes in, I've seen 3 Geico insurance commercials. Have you ever seen a Geico insurance commercial?
Yes.
It's a little lizard. It's a lizard.
Yeah.
Doing loads. That was the best bit of this film. They're good adverts, them. I kept laughing at them. It's like Gex or somebody.
Oh God, the film's so bad. He's praising Gex now.
Oh, it was. We don't get Geico in Britain, do we?
No,
it's not a thing. But yeah, what else I've put? Matthew Perry screams a lot in this. I wrote that down. I am bored of this film. I'm stopping writing notes for a while. I wrote that down. The soundtrack is exclusively Kid Rock.
Oh God!
Out to the ball, the band, diggy diggy.
Yeah. I'm a cowboy, baby.
American badass.
Yeah, it's all that. What else have I put? Liz Early is eventually served, and blah, 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 blah. I'll spoil ending. Yeah, Liz Early is eventually served, but turns out Texas is, the time zone's an hour different, innit? What? Matthew Perry's got 1 hour to serve Bruce Campbell. And do you know how the whole film ends? With a big monster truck chase. Mm-hmm.
I'm suddenly more interested now.
So Perry decides, we need to find Bruce Campbell. He's sat in the crowd of this monster truck arena. There's only one way to do it. Gets on the tannoy. There's a man over there, he's got Ebola. So all the Texans start screaming and point guns at him. Kill the Ebola! Kill the... So They know where Bruce Campbell is, so he goes up to save him, blah, blah, blah. This is the ending now. So it's supposed to be a rom-com. Matthew Perry, the only romance in this is Matthew Perry fancying her. She don't fancy him. I mean, obviously, why would you? He's a fucking troll. But, yeah, he fancies her. So at the end, she gives him the £1 million thing, and he went, no, I don't want this. I want you. She kisses him. The only kiss in this film is at the very end, and you don't know what happens to him.
Maybe this is why they're just marked as bad rom-coms, because none of them are romantic comedies.
There is literally... What this is a joke on is... It's just... Again, it's kind of like playing on the American justice system, subverting, like... them, like, saying, this is so stupid that we've got so many loopholes in different states and stuff. There's nothing clever about it whatsoever. It's a waste of everything. There's so many racial stereotypes in it. Everyone you see in it is an over-exaggeration of a racist stereotype. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking stupid and horrible.
Does it warrant its 4% on Rotten Tomatoes then?
Well, I gave it a wank out of 10.
At least you made your wank from it then.
Oh, mate, Liz Hurley looked incredible in it. She looked incredible all the way through it. She's the only good thing in this. And she's not trying to put on an American accent. She's still doing that English accent that she does in, like, Austin Powers and stuff, and Bedazzled. She's all right. You know what I mean? She's all right. She just does Liz Hurley, doesn't she? She's that's what she is. I didn't laugh once. Perry's weight changes and red face scared me. Hurley earns the 1 point due to existing. Bruce Campbell is crap. Terry Crews is fucking dross in this. These are my notes. But Matthew Perry is borderline unwatchable. I hate him and his quips and his face. He makes a bull ejaculate by tickling its prostate for no reason as well. Halfway through the film. Yeah. So there is a silver lining to this. Because then I watched it with the missus and she said to me, I watched the Matthew Perry film and it was good. I went, which one? It's a film called 17 again. We watched that after this. I like it.
Yeah, because he's only in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but he was good in this.
It's mostly Zac Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron's incredible.
So,
Love him.
So I take it you're not going to watch Matthew Perry's next rom-com after this, which was 3 to Tango with Neve Campbell and Dylan McDermott.
I can.
How's he getting
absolutely
in these
say
film
no.
with these attractive women?
Mate, there was literally one bit where like Liz Hurley says that they're holding hands in airports, pretend to be a couple, and she went, and one of the staff went, really? Like him? Do you know what I mean? Like,
also,
everyone knows that he's ugly.
How good would you be if you looked like Zac Efron at 17 and then turned out to be Matthew Perry?
Actually, no. If we do this challenge again, it's got slightly better ratings on IMDb than Serving Sarah. But Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek in Fools Rush In.
How's he pulled it?
Fuck off!
Is that the one with Bruce Willis? He does a movie with Bruce Willis somewhere, doesn't he?
That's the whole 9 yards.
How
does he pull it?
All right, the sequel's terrible.
Yeah, the first one of those is fine because it's just a straight comedy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only silver lining from this film is that I watched 17 again and I enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? That's a good film, and he's in it. And yeah, he's in it for about 10 minutes, but he's not horrendous in it. It's because he's not trying to be funny in it. He's not bad at that, just being a serious person. It's just... This is
I reckon
terrible.
that all those films that came out around the early 2000s, they just said B. Chandler.
Yeah, probably.
They probably just said B. Chandler, and that's like so. It's all about him doing the dry, quick, like whips and quips.
He's so
and stuff.
fast talking. Sometimes I'm like, what is it? He's just proper rapid, and in this, he's really offensive to everyone. He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible. And I know he's told to do this. It's a script. He might not be horrible in real life. I don't know the bloke.
I mean, not to keep harping on Friends, but as Chandler Bing, he was quite horrible to the people around him, but he was balanced out by the other 5 of them around there.
They had to have an horrible one, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He still looked a mess at the reunion.
Did he? Yeah. I didn't want to like talk too much on that because he might have had bad, like you said, bad problems in his real life. But fucking, why they put him in this? He just doesn't make any sense. He must have been that star power from Friends at the time. You know what I mean?
It will have been.
Yeah, 100%.
It makes no fucking sense.
Get a star from Friends in and try and hopefully that'll.
Well, they all tried it, didn't they? Aniston's
But the other friend would have been better.
the only
What's
one
his
that had
name?
success.
Matt LeBlanc.
Jew friend.
Oh,
No, Jew
David
friend, the
Schwimmer.
Jewish one.
No, he
Yeah,
was the worst
him.
friend.
No, he'd have been better in this because he's supposed to be like
He's
a dry
fine.
process server. You're supposed to be a process. You know what I mean? You've got a boring job. You know, that's not fucking Barry Bond that he's in this. It's fucking shite. Don't watch it. 1 out of 10. Candy.
So, a wise person once said, boredom is life's way of telling you you're wasting your time.
It's true, like.
Yeah, I want my time back on this one. So I was given New Year's Eve, which, unlike a few of the films that were given, it's not offensively bad. It's just as dull as dishwater. My God, it is so boring. So and unlike the last one that didn't have any plot, this has too many plots. So imagine the pitch meeting, and it's basically a group of writers sitting down and say, right, we want to do Love Actually, but set it on New Year's Eve in New York.
The British masterpiece, Love Actually.
Exactly. They've tried to recreate that. So what
It's not a bad pitch
For new
meeting, though,
listeners-
is it? Like, if you
For
think
new
about
listeners,
it.
I just need to clarify that I don't like Love Actually. That's a joke.
No, but like that was a successful film, so it's not a bad pitch meeting
Successfully said.
to say that.
This guy's gagging for it.
But I know what comes next.
Wait.
So yeah, essentially it's a group of different situations of people in New York on New Year's Eve, and wouldn't you know it, all of their stories are conveniently linked up in the end. But what they
Like
did,
Star Wars.
yeah, they're all Skywalkers.
Yeah, thought so.
That'd be alright, actually, wouldn't it? But yeah, what they didn't do was write any likable characters, interesting storylines, character growth, anything really.
Yeah, a plot.
A plot, too many plots, too many things. I've got no idea how they managed to procure the cast that they did. Maybe they bought into the kind of Love Actually scenario, or maybe
Who's in
they
it?
just got a good check. So wait for it. This is the cast list.
Hold your breath.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Zac Efron, Robert De Niro, Abigail Breslin, Hilary Swank, Josh Duhamel, Katherine Heigl, Jessica Biel, Ashton Kutcher, Halle Berry, Sarah Jessica Parker, John Bon Jovi, Hector Elizondo, Ludacris,
John Bon Jovi.
Ludacris, Seth Meyers, Sophia Viagra, Till Schweiger,
Viagra.
yeah,
Vergara.
Ryan Seacrest, Carrie
Ryan Seacrest?
Ulwells, Sarah
Always.
Paulson, always.
Carrie Elway.
You know who I meant.
Carry safe ways.
Can I get more of the Patreon money if I have to act as Candy's translator going forward?
Sarah Paulson. Who else we got?
Oh, haven't we got?
We've got. I'm scrolling. I'm leaving out the
Can
less.
you go through the list
interesting
again?
ones.
You got Hilary Swank.
Julie
writing
Andrews,
down.
she's in there as well. Ice Cube.
No way.
Sienna Miller.
No way.
John Stamos. And Ferris Bueller. So, my God.
Ferris Bueller, the actual character, or Matthew Broderick.
Actual Ferris Bueller.
Okay, right. So this is possibly
It's
the worst
dated.
bit of the film. So during one of the scenarios, one of the characters is overseeing the kind of ball drop, which is the famous New Year's Eve celebration they do in Times Square. So I think it's her first gig doing it, and she's trying to impress the president, the mayor, and trying to impress the president of this company and everything. So this mayor finally shows up, and he's in the back of the limo, and one of the staff says, "So, Mayor Buellerton's here to see you." She's like, "The mayor?" "Yes, Mayor Buellerton." They open the door. Guess who it is?
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah,
Fuck
Mayor
off.
Buellerton.
Mayor Buellerton.
Is this the sequel to Ferris Bueller?
the big reveal? So,
Oh my god.
out of all the scenarios, we've got Ashton Kutcher, who gets stuck in a lift with a girl, and they fall in love after being
No
stuck in a
way.
lift for 2 hours. And
Well, why wouldn't you?
why wouldn't you? And falling in love with him gives her the courage to sing at this New Year's Eve spectacle that John Bon Jovi has pulled out of last minute because
So he's just playing himself?
yeah. Well, no, he's
Legend.
playing a character called Jensen, but it's John Bon Jovi.
Jensen Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi has pulled
Jensen
out
Benson.
of
Jovi.
at the last minute of singing at the New Year's Eve celebrations because the caterer at the backstage is his ex-girlfriend that he insulted last year or pissed her off last year. So he's gone off to propose. The lady who was running the ball drop has had to leave just before the clock strikes midnight because she's gone to see her father, who is literally on his deathbed. So she didn't think, maybe I'll not do the gig tonight. Maybe I'll go and see my father, who is literally
hours with
dying.
my dad. Yeah.
Her father is Robert De Niro, who is sat comforted by Halle Berry all night.
His wife.
No, she's
Worst ways to go out?
No, she's a
lot worse
nurse.
ways.
She's a nurse at this hospital who apparently on New Year's Eve in central New York does not have anything better to do than just sit with someone, just chilling. We've got Michelle.
You would think she'd be busier than that.
You might think as a nurse on New Year's Eve, there may be a few other things to do. Michelle Pfeiffer, this is another weird one.
So there's 2 cat women in this film.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Incredible.
Well done.
This film's insane.
So Michelle Pfeiffer's working at some record company or something, who her boss is...
Don't tell me Anne Hathaway's in this and I'll blow me, man.
No, but John Lithgow is.
No way!
For a second, who's the boss, and she wants to take two weeks off work. He says no, so she leaves. And she meets up with, as a courier, this bicycle courier, Zac Efron, who really wants to go to this party. She's got tickets for this party, but she wants him to take her on this New Year's Eve kind of bucket list type scenario. So he takes him. He takes her on.
Don't slag off Zac Efron on this podcast.
I can't do it anymore.
Don't do it.
I'm currently using the mouse pointer on my own forehead.
So she goes on this trip and they don't fall in love, but it's kind of weirdly like they do kiss.
They did it in Serving Sarah. He just loved her.
But yeah, he's this bike courier and he finally gets to go to the party and he invites her. Of course, he invites her because he's sort of in love with her or feels sorry for her. But she's like a proper weird.
Great fit. How can she not fall in love with him?
Yeah, but look at her though. But also, they made her look like the most dowdy, like crappy. I thought it was impossible to make her look ugly, but here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've also got another pair of couples who are both in the same hospital as Robert De Niro, but they're both expecting imminently, and there's a cash prize to win 25 grand at the hospital. So they're both trying their hardest to squeeze their babies out.
What if they get it done before New Year's Eve?
What?
Yeah. So
That's fucking dark.
Why don't they just have a cesarean then?
They're not. That's part of the rules. They've.
You can't whip the baby.
You're not allowed to schedule cesarean because the nurse that is tending to them has said the other couple has already.
Did you say $20,000? Did you say $25,000 prize?
Yes.
You know it costs $45,000 to have a baby in America. You know that.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Well, it means you get half off your bills.
Yes.
Or
have
not.
your baby on before right
And
on
the baby.
midnight.
And you'll never have a New Year's party ever again because it's always going to be a kid's birthday.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's just the most. It's so soulless.
I want to watch this film
thing.
so bad. You are selling this so hard to me.
Oh God! Oh, and there's another scenario. Sorry, it's a mother and daughter, and the daughter wants to go off to Times Square on New Year to spend it with some young whippersnapper, and they get there, and the kid's getting off with some other girl, and then Sarah Jessica Parker goes and she has to run off to meet her long lost love, which is one of the other character scenarios. I can't even remember that scenario. It's so boring. But oh my God, see, there's just so much going on. I just
Candy, it sounds incredible.
Well, I mean, feel free to watch it if you'd like.
The fact that you remember all the links has blown my mind.
It's like Game of Thrones, but on one night in America.
It is, yeah. New Year is coming.
Yeah, exactly. The baby is coming.
It was so bad. It was.
Did they win the prize in the end?
Well, I mean, it was two couples battling it out, so we're following both couples, and then the couple that did win decided to say that the other couple won because they saw that they had two other kids.
Fuck's sake! Fuck's sake!
But it was boring. It was boring.
What would you rate it out of 10?
A turd sandwich out of 10.
I
mean, the Robert Denario
Robert De
Niro scenario.
You guys say I'm bad.
Robert De Niro. She meant to say Robert De Niro scenario, but she just turned into Robert De Niro.
Well,
We've got a podcast
I
title.
was
again. We've
about to
got
be so
5.
earnest then as well. I was going to say the Robert De Niro scenario was actually
Robert De
quite tough.
Niro. That's like Matthew McConaughey or whatever he said.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a title. We've had so many title contenders this episode.
Robert De
hell.
Niro.
Better than sneezing penis, though, isn't it?
Oscar winner Robert De Niro.
Like, anyway, yeah, it was
So you
bad.
coming to the biggies next week?
He fucking is now, mate.
Oh, please let me dress up as him.
You're doing the intro.
I hate this podcast, me. I hate it so fucking much. I'm fucking done, me, mate. I'm done. Oh, we're going to have to move on. I know you loved it so much when you want to wax lyrical about Robert De Niro, but we're going to have to move on to Gadget. Because he loves a good rom-com. He... Talking Italian. Oh, God. Gadget loves romance, don't you, Gadget?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fucking love it.
Don't try and convince me, mate.
Before I get started, I just need to say on New Year's Eve, I looked at the awards it was nominated for on Wikipedia. Just I want to see what Razzies they get nominated for.
Yeah.
But this one, the only award it won was from the Alliance of Women Film Journalists, and the category was Actress Most in Need of a New Agent, and the recipient was all actresses in New Year's Eve.
Ouch.
Ooh, yes.
So that.
Oh,
so
God.
the film I was assigned was Mother's Day, the 2016 film excreted into the world by Gary Marshall, written by Tom Hines, Lily Hollander, Gary Marshall, and Matt Walker. And it stars Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, Shay Mitchell, Julia Roberts, Jason Sudeikis, Britt Robertson, Timmy Oliphant, Hector Elizondo, making a second appearance this evening, because he was in Candy's film, and Jack Whitehall.
Which one's he again?
So this
who's Jack Whitehall again? Sorry.
Travels with My Father, the comedian.
the tough boy stand-up comedian.
Gap
Yeah.
year.
Spiky hair, beard. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. So this Mother's Day is another one of these, a little bit like Candy's one, where it's kind of like an anthology cast, sort of, but they're all kind of interstitially linked with each other. So I mean, the big thing what this film wants to kind of get across is, and Candy will know this, that the most important thing about being a woman is being a mother, and the most important thing about being a mother is Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the message of this film, and it's fucking terrible. But the best part is, despite how much the film is about mothers and Mother's Day, the main character is Jason Sudeikis.
Man.
Yes. So, or at least he's the only one that actually has a story, quote unquote. So I'll kind of run through each of it. So Jennifer Aniston plays Sandy, she's a divorced single mum. Her ex-husband is Timothy Oliphant. Their children are surprisingly normal looking for having two such beautiful parents, but that's casting for you, I suppose. She is basically pissed off with him because since they got divorced, he's gotten rich and he's got like a 26-year-old girlfriend who he's just eloped with at the beginning of the film, and he kind of tells that. And she spends the entire film pissed off at her ex-husband for moving on with his life. And getting kind of weirdly, slightly stalkerish, trying to find out what's going on with them and all that kind of thing. Also, everything in her life is everyone else's fault, never her own. But the run of her plot is new wife equals bad.
Absolutely.
Then there is... that is the least offensive of the storylines. Jason Sudeikis is one. He is a former Marine. His wife, who was played in one little scene by Jennifer Garner, of all people. died the year previously. She was killed in service in Afghanistan. So, kind of military Americana kind of thing going on there.
Host of a minion, respect our troops, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But so they had 2 daughters, and he is basically struggling as a single dad with 2 daughters that he's not very connected with women in that respect. So, like, one of his daughters is a teenager, and she goes up and says, when you go to the shop, can you get me tampons? And he starts like freaking out because the mother always did that. But I don't get how, because she died a year previously, and the kid's like 15. So unless they had like a Costco-sized box of tampons in the garage, I would have assumed he would have had to go and pick some up at some point before that.
Well, I'm an expert on the subject now. She could have got a moon cup. I am an expert on this now.
See, but his one is the only one that kind of feels like a storyline, because he's trying to be a dad and he's trying to connect with his daughters.
What about these anthology films? What's going on?
Oh, they're fucking bullshit.
Why does it keep happening?
Cheap and easy to make.
They're all trying to do the Love Actually, aren't they? That's
a little
an anthology type film, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Then we move on to Julia Roberts as part of it. Julia Roberts is she's like a
Oscar winner, Julia Roberts.
Yeah, she's playing like a QVC kind of host. She's like a home shopping entrepreneur kind of thing. Who every character at some point has a TV on in the background on her show, and they'll turn around and go, oh look, Victoria's on, and then the camera will go, and then it's a transitional scene. Fair play to Julia Roberts for this. Her work lasted 4 days and she got paid $3 million for it.
Well done. She's got a good agent.
Yeah, she's got very good agents. I mean, she's coasting. She's in neutral going down a hill, but fine. She made $3 million for 4 days.
Probably
work.
not even on the same set as everyone else as well.
Yeah.
She only directly interacts with 3 other characters in the film.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. That's why she's the girl boss, mate. She knows.
Perfectly.
She knows. Absolutely, right into her hands.
So her thing is, she doesn't have a family film. She'll be working for Mother's Day because she puts her career first. Until oh no, it actually turns out, well, actually we go to the next plot line, which is the one that links to that, which is Jack Whitehall's one, because him and his partner, who is that's Britt Robertson. Yeah, it's Britt Robertson's character. He is a aspiring stand-up comedian who's playing
in real life as well.
Yeah. Who's doing really shit comedy and trying to get in like a battle of the comedians thing. They've just had a baby. And he's constantly asking his girlfriend Kristen if she'll marry him, but she doesn't want to marry because turns out she doesn't know who she is because she was adopted as a kid, and her mother's in. It's all based around Atlanta in Georgia, but apparently her mother is in town for a few days, so she might go and find her. Yeah, it's Julia Roberts' character.
Oh, what a twist!
What a twist!
Fuck, it's like Shyamalan, that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But the most offensive one, we're going to get into the offensive one here, is the sisters' storyline.
Okay.
So we have the 2 sisters, Jessie and Gabby. Jessie's played by Kate Hudson. Gabby is played by Sarah Chalke from Scrubs.
Oh. I know she is.
So, we're going as blonde as possible right now. So their relationship with their mother is strained because their mother is slightly homophobic and slightly racist. And by slightly, I mean a lot of it. And the thing is, Gabby's gay.
No way.
And is married to her wife, Max.
How could she get away with that?
Well, yeah. But the thing is as well, Jessie's married as well without telling the mother to Russell, who's Indian.
No fucking way.
And they have a little mixed race baby called Tanner. Funnily enough, Oodles.
They're not spitting, are they?
No. So Jessie and Gabby's mother and father are arch Texans. They live in an RV. When we're first introduced to them, they're driving down the highway as like the mother's trying to understand how to use Skype, and the dad sat in the driver's seat with his Texas cap on and a chicken wing in his mouth.
10-gallon hat.
Yeah. No, like a red Texas bait, a Trump hat.
Oh,
But not actually a Trump hat.
I thought he'd have like a bandolier thing as well on his neck.
No. He's the other kind of Texan. He's the kind of
the worst ones.
The shorts and the vest in Target kind of ones.
Oh, them ones.
Yeah. So they surprise their daughters because they have a little Skype call and they're like, oh, we'll we've talked now. Obviously, all fences are mended. So they turn up at Gabby's house, and they have the big awkward catch up thing, and then the fight that comes from it. But the problem is, because these characters are so coded as racist and homophobic, it's just a collection of slurs.
Oh, but they're doing it for educational purposes.
So they go through all the chaos of finding out that that Gabby is married to Max, and like the mum is kind of working her head around. Okay, so my daughter is gay, I guess. Fine, maybe who's the man of the relationship, that kind of thing. That kind of offensive level. And then Russell walks in from the garden, and the dad turns around and says, "Well, who's this? Is this the houseboy?" Like, no.
Oh no,
no.
Oh dear.
And when Jesse says, "No, this is my husband, Russell," the dad just shouts out, "What are you doing marrying a towel head?"
Whoa!
Oh my God.
And I'm sat there. I watched this on Saturday morning. I'm like,
self-hugging.
The fuck? Stop writing lines. And then it gets worse. Then it gets worse because they mention that they meet Tanner, the son, and the mother says, "I see why you called him Tanner, because he's a little dark."
No.
Wow.
No.
Oh no!
This film has no redeeming features. There is no humor to it. There is no character apart from Jason Sudeikis' character, which is in any way sympathetic. But there is no romance. There is not a kiss in this film.
There's one in Serving Sarah. You should watch that.
It is universally, offensively dreadful. I can stand on a soapbox and say this might be one of the worst films ever made, certainly with this kind of cast. Like, these are big fucking names in this film.
Yeah, it's a big project, big like budget fucking film.
That's the link of all these though. When I looked at that, they're all big budgets, got good casts. Genuinely, like big names in it. I think that was the link on that website we found of the worst ones.
Yeah.
I
know I keep saying it and making a joke about it, but I mean, this had a budget of $25 million. $3 million of it just went on 4 days of Julia Roberts.
Worth it.
But this has to be some kind of fucking money laundering. I don't see how it can be possible that someone can write.
Mine's the same.
Write and release a film this bad and expect anything good out of it.
But do you notice with these films as well? Like, I don't know about your guys, but I couldn't find them on streaming services. Like, they've just been abandoned. They've all just been like cast aside as these films don't exist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
No one wants to earn any money off them still.
No one. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, the director of Mother's Day was also he was the director of New Year's Eve.
Wow, we've got a repeat offender, have we?
And Valentine's Day.
Oh, that was panned as well, wasn't
and
it?
Princess
and
Diaries
Independence
2.
Day.
Princess Diaries 2 he did, and the Princess Diaries.
The first one were good.
The Runaway Bride, The Other Sister. Like, he does rom-coms all the fucking time.
This guy's a romantic, isn't he?
All on big days of the year.
Yeah.
He also acted as an underworld boss in 1977's Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, this guy's like a serial director, producer, and actor.
A serial offender.
Very much a serial offender.
That alliance of Pretty Woman.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's an absolute banger.
I didn't scroll back to the 80s.
That's a classic. That is one of the all-timers, mate. That's one of the best rom-coms ever made.
It's the only good one in his list.
So we was that's why he's got Julia Roberts in.
Why he gets the
So one of his on here is called Raising Helen. That's also on that list that I was going to that was potentially one of the ones I was going to give out.
So throughout his
We
career,
could
he's
have
been trying to
done-
relive Pretty Woman.
We could have just done a feature on this director and done
Yeah, we
his
could.
5 worst films because
Wow.
3 of them were in that list
Yeah.
of 10.
He was trying to capture the heights of Pretty Woman, weren't he? Clearly.
Yeah.
And never
I-
succeeded, ever.
I don't understand how he gets work. Like this is what I'm saying. It has to be money laundering in some way, shape, or form. Because why would you give this person this work? Also, why would you set it in Georgia unless you're getting kind of tax breaks or something like that? Like, because they made the film in
There's
Georgia.
a lot of filming. There's a lot of stuff
That's
in
why they did
Georgia.
Walking Dead there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. The Alliance of Women Film Journalists Awards that I mentioned earlier, they put him in the Hall of Shame for Valentine's Day.
Kind of want to watch that now.
I swear, this is a running theme, isn't it? With all these films, like Stig says, this. I think these Hollywood, like Gadget says, there must be something that these Hollywood execs are saying. We need to keep our budget high for next year.
Yeah.
We've got 25 million. Spend it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
So the thing is, and with this film, like I say, everyone is so preoccupied with Mother's Day. And what are they doing for Mother's Day? What are you doing? How are you celebrating Mother's Day? Fuck off! No one celebrates it like that. You take your mother a card and
You
some
get-
flowers.
You get a card, yeah.
Yeah.
You're an hug.
But if they had made the film just the Sandy plot line and the Jason Sudeikis plot line, and had the
It'd be
two of
better.
them meet, and then like on Mother's Day, you know, their families kind of intertwine, and then they fall in love.
Skip
would-
the racist plot line.
Drop all of the other plot lines. Just have their plots together. That would work really well because Jason Sudeikis is actually really good in this because he's just doing that affable, charming thing that he does.
Yeah, he's good.
You know, he plays a nice guy. He gets a really embarrassing karaoke rap sequence, which works in like that's the kind of the funny dad thing that he does. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like there is a good film in here. It's just not what we got. Like, like a lot of the actors, like Timothy Oliphant's doing fine. You know, he's doing the Timothy Oliphant thing. He's just standing there looking handsome, and he's doing it.
He
really
tried
well.
not to be handsome.
Yeah, he's doing it.
He tried
really
so
well.
hard not to be handsome.
Impossible.
Poor lad. Poor lad.
Like people like John Lovitz is in this film. Cameron
yeah.
Esposito
Acting.
plays Max, who's Gabby's wife. You know, like there are some like really kind of interesting actors and actresses in this, and they just fuck it up. It's so
Budgets,
bad.
mate. It's all about budgets. That's what it is. It's just studios getting budgets and write-offs and stuff. That's
It
all they
has
all
to
are.
be. It has to be because
Yeah, of
there is
course it
no
is.
reason for this to exist.
I bet it even launched in cinemas for a week or something like that. Do you know what I mean? These films do.
It was the weekend of Mother's Day that year. It was the third highest grossing film with 11.1 million, behind
Yeah.
The Jungle Book with $24.5 million, and then also behind Captain America: Civil War with $179 million.
Can you imagine going up against Civil War? Beautiful.
The only film it was ahead of that week was Ratchet and Clank.
That weren't terrible. It weren't terrible.
No, but it made no fucking money.
No, of course not. No. Wow. What would you rate it? What would your rating be then, mate? It's got to be higher than ours. If you said there is a decent bit of film in there.
I think if I were giving it flat numbers, I think I would probably say it would be like a 2 out of 10. Like
Yeah.
It-
The highest rated one we've got this evening.
it can't rate any higher just for the racism in it, but like
Yeah.
functionally, there's nothing horrendously wrong with it, but it is just so offensive across everything. It was like a first draft script. Give it another couple of runs over, drop the racism, make it about Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis fall in love, and it would be like a 6-7 out of 10 rom-com. Would have been fine.
She's from Friends as well, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Right. Excellent. Brilliant. As much as I hated that, Stig, it weren't a bad idea. We've got some content out of this.
Got a lot of content out of it, actually.
Whew. Fucking hell. So, as always, links to all our... We don't have any feedback, do we? I don't think we do.
No, we don't.
No.
Good.
We won't subject our listeners to that. We've done it for you.
No. As always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. And please consider becoming a patron to help support our endeavour with an absolute all-you-can-eat carvery of oral pleasure for the price of, like, a pot noodle. Just become a patron, please. Oh, next week, wow, Hollywood. The biggest night of the year. Live Friday 3rd.
Yes.
Which is also my son's birthday as well.
Whoops.
No, it's fine. He's in bed. Live on twitch.tv/Modern Escapism. The 3rd annual Biggies Awards.
It's the biggies. It's the biggies.
Oh, it's the most glamorous night. With special guests, Walker McCoy, he'll be on there. The chat. So get in on Twitch. Get your best suit on.
Do you think we're going to get Robert Denario in?
Oh, I'll make some calls.
I think
I'll make some calls.
It could turn up. It could turn up. It's just the greatest night of the year. It's the glitz, the glamour. The money we throw into the biggies is ridiculous. It is a tax write-off, but we got to do it for our budget. It helps for next year. Please support us. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just watch. Just watch us. You know what I mean? That's all we ask. Be there. Be glammed up. Even though we can't see you in the chat, just do it anyway. It makes us feel better.
Get your best tux on. Your best dress.
I can't wait. It's going to be great. Basically, if you don't know what the biggies are, if you're new to us, we give the awards to things that we feel didn't get awards or things like that. Our own, we make up categories, and it's just a spectacular evening of entertainment.
It is.
We correct what should have been.
Yes, absolutely. So, if you are a patron, meet us in the green room. You'll have more fun and frolics from us. And if you're not, this has been a podcast. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed Romance Month, but goodbye.
I didn't.
Bye.
Bye.